Okay, good. Now that we got the sound check out of the way and that everyone is here and has interacted and introduced themselves. Now, if you can see my screen and hear my voice, it means you've got audio and video working correctly. Just go ahead and type in yes, then I could hear you in the chat. Now, listen, sometimes with technology, you know how that is, a chat might get disabled or something like that. If the chat isn't working exactly perfect right now, doesn't matter, just go ahead and try to input it anyway. And now let's get on with today's training. My name is Dan Locke, and on behalf of Team Dan Locke, I welcome you. If you're serious about actually making at least $100,000 a year or $250,000 or a year, or maybe even $500,000 a year at the upper end, you are at the right place. Or maybe you are an overachiever, and I don't know if you are not, maybe even $1 million or more a year. And here's what gets even better. Now, there are a lot of ways to make money online or offline. There are a million ways to make $1 million, but most of them involve selling your soul and putting yourself out there in some way, shape, or form that all the money in the world wouldn't be worth it for what you have to exchange to get it. Now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about forget cold calling, forget prospecting, forget MLM and network marketing, forget e-commerce, forget Amazon, forget Shopify, forget going online, forget trying to buy Facebook ads, forget building websites and buying websites, and forget funnel, forget WordPress, forget social media, forget podcasts, forget YouTube, forget Instagram, forget Facebook, forget the thing that's invented tomorrow and then it's forgotten the next week. I'm telling you, I'm going to show you the oldest thing in the world for making money that everyone else is looking at and using every day, but stepping over to pick up a dollar bill when there's $1 million they just stepped over. I am going to prove to you in today's training. I'm going to give you undeniable proof how you can make $40,000 to $250,000 a year with nothing more than a computer, a phone, using skills you can learn in a weekend. That's the game plan. I'm also going to show you that any one of you on this training today, if you are serious, if you have a big enough reason why to truly join the high income earner that we are creating all over the world, I'm going to teach you exactly the one thing you need to make that happen. And now here's the deal. The reason I'm showing you this today is not because I'm just some beloved, amazing, wonderful, one-of-a-kind human being. I am not Mother Teresa. I'm not even doing this for the amount of money that this could make me. Listen, if I were to teach you something and give you skills and build you up and build your business up and say, hey, you know what? Give me 10% of your business after I make you a millionaire. Does that sound fair to you? I am doing this because I'm on a mission. I've already achieved absolute fame and success in my life. Using the secrets I'm about to share with you, I became a self-made millionaire by the age of 27 and a multi-millionaire by the age of 30. My story has been featured in numerous publications and popular podcasts like Entrepreneurs on Fire, Built to Sell, Marketing Profs, Eventual Millionaire, Forbes, Addicted to Success, Inc., and so many more. I've written more than 13 books, and many of them are international bestsellers. I've had the fortune to be featured on the cover of the iconic Concierge magazine and the Jet Set magazine, alongside with Richard Branson, Daniel Craig, and The Rock. My YouTube channel We have over 490,000 subscribers on my channel, and it's growing rapidly every day. My official Facebook page has over 1.3 million followers. My videos and articles have been viewed more than 100 million times combined across all of my social media platforms. As a speaker, I've been a 2 times TEDx opening speaker. But let me tell you this, all those pale in comparison to the goal I've set for the next year. And that goal is this, is to create 1,000 six-figure earners from scratch in the next 12 months. My question to you is, would you like to be one of them? If so, then the next hour that we're going to spend together are truly going to be the most life-changing hour that you're going to spend online this year. Does that sound good to you? If so, go ahead and type in yes in the chat. There are 2 reasons why I'm on a mission this year to create 1,000, at least 1,000 six-figure earners to add to my team. There's a noble reason, which is obviously this is my mission. And I take it very, very seriously. And because that's why I create so much free content, so much free value out there on social media, because I want to do good in the world. If you follow my work, you would have seen some of them. I want to help a lot of people because a lot of people are struggling right now. But there's also a darker, a more sinister reason why I'm doing this. But I'm not going to tell you why until I explain the whole process to you first. I'm going to share that with you near the end. Today, what we're going to do is this. I'm going to walk you through 4 powerful secrets and show you how to make your FU money, your, yes, fuck you money, as a high ticket closer. I'm not talking about a little bit of money. I'm talking about making enough money to finally say fuck you to your boss, to your job, to the career that you are sick and tired of. I'm talking about making enough money that you don't fly economy anymore. You don't even fly business class, you fly first class. I'm talking about making enough money that you don't need to commute or travel to work if you don't want to. I'm talking about buying that car or that house or that condo that you've always wanted without worrying about the payment. I'm talking about being able to provide for your family, for your loved ones, and give them the best of the best. I'm talking about writing a check to help the people that you want to help without even need to think about it. That's what we're going to accomplish today. You see, most people, they play not to lose instead of playing to win. There's a way for you to win this game, but it's very different from the way that you've been playing it. My question to you is, are you playing to win or are you playing not to lose? If so, go ahead, type in, yes, I play to win in the chat box. And by the way, if the chat box, again, is acting kind of weird or acting up or is disabled right now, don't worry. You know, they're still with the technology. I'm still trying to figure this technology thing out. So don't worry. Thank God you don't need technology to make a lot of money. He's dentist. So I just turned 18 back in July. And the biggest problem I ran into with selling my marketing services was me not having the right mindset on higher amounts of money. So earlier back in August, I found Dan Lok on YouTube. Maybe that's how he found me as well. And he changed my life. I closed my first 5K per month client at 18 years old. My next goal is 50K a month. Thank you to Dan. You've changed my life. I'm getting my FU money now. So, rule number 1. Before we proceed any further, I want to establish some ground rules. And rule number 1 is no excuses. I don't want to hear about how you don't have money. I don't want to hear about how You don't have time. I don't want to hear about how you're from a third world country. I don't want to hear about how your English is not good or how you're an immigrant. I don't even want to hear that you're blind or you're disabled, anything like that. I don't want to hear any of those excuses. Listen, if you want to make money, then you make money. If you want to make excuses, you can make excuses. But I've never met anyone who was good at both. So make money or you make excuses is your choice. If you want to make excuses, let me make my first excuse for you. Your internet crashed. Go ahead, leave. Leave this training right now. Don't waste your time. However, if you don't make money though, then we're going to talk about rule number 2. And that is there is work involved. There is work involved. Listen to me. Nobody got rich by doing nothing. This is not get rich quick. This is get rich smart. So if you think you are going to sit around and do nothing and put in no effort and meditate and somehow money will fall on your lap, I'm sorry to tell you that this training is not for you. Because I believe money earned is a byproduct of value creation. People get rich every single day because they exchange value. And if you think that you can steal money from somebody and make you money, if you think, you believe you need to trick somebody and make money that way, or if you think you could somehow that do something and take advantage of someone, or somehow you make money and someone else loses money, if that's the way that you think, you know what, then this training is not for you, because I don't believe that's how the world works. Now, the trick though is to work smart instead of just working hard. In fact, put in the chat, how many of you have been working very hard, or you know someone who works very hard, yet they don't make a lot of money? See, the trick is this. The trick is to work in this specific way that I'm going to show you, because I've done it all. But the idea is there is going to be some work involved. And I would tell you this. I have seen people tell me that, oh, Dan, that's too much work for me. And then they go back to their 9-to-5 job and make $40,000 a year, $50,000 a year. And I'm confused, because this takes a lot less work than that. And it makes a lot more money than that. It makes a lot more people happier than that. But it is work. So let me just be very clear here. There is work involved. If you believe in making money without work, I'm not the guy to train you. I'm not the guy to train you. So then this training is not for you. Rule number 3, I speak the truth and only the truth. Whether you want to hear it or not, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, whether you're offended by it or not, I speak the truth. Here's what I have learned, something about life. I'll tell you what works. I'll tell you what doesn't work. But if you cannot handle the truth, you can leave the webinar right now. I'm going to be blunt. So if I'm blunt or I come across as offensive, if I use coarse language, it's only because this is what I found that needs to be said, that is not being said anywhere else. It's not being said on Instagram or those fake social media posts. It's not being said on Facebook. It's not being said anywhere. And I think that's the reason why so many people are struggling, because they are hearing worse, believing these half-truth and misinformation. So let me just tell you something. The truth will set you free, but first, it will piss you off. Is that okay with you? Do you understand that? Type in the chat. Say, I could handle the truth. So those are the 3 ground rules. No excuses. There's work involved, and I tell the fucking truth, and I don't sugarcoat. Do you agree to these before we proceed further? If so, let me know right now. Go ahead and type in yes before we begin. I was born in Hong Kong. I came to Canada years ago with no money, no connections, and not a word of the English language on my lips. English was not my first language. My mom and dad got divorced when I was 16 years old because my dad unfortunately had an affair. And my mom decided that she didn't want to stay in Hong Kong and she didn't want to stay in the relationship. In fact, that's one of the reasons why we immigrated to Canada. And this is me in high school. This photo was taken during prom night. I had no one to go with. No one would date me back then. This actually was my English teacher. If you could imagine going to a country where you don't speak the language, growing up, I didn't have a lot of confidence. I wasn't one of those people that was born to do some great or wonderful things and that had big dreams that I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. No, I wasn't one of those people that know all the right people in all the right places. Because when I first immigrated to Canada, I didn't know anybody. And I wasn't one of those people that had great talents. I was what my teachers would say average intelligence or sometimes below average intelligence, depends on which class. I was a C student, sometimes D student. So I wasn't one of those students that had a good education or that had a good resume. In fact, I never went to university. I was a college dropout. So not in a million years could I ever imagine I would be doing what I'm doing today. I will be writing books and being interviewed on a weekly basis and traveling the world and impacting millions of people worldwide. Not in a million years could I ever imagine I would be doing what I'm doing today. Because I got into business by pure accident. I don't know if you can relate to this. I almost got backed up into this whole thing. I got into business because out of necessity, because I wanted to take care of the most important person to me in my life, my mom. That was it. That was my motive. I started my first business with a couple of my buddies, mowing lawns for people in our neighborhood. Now, let me tell you something. The lawn mowing business is not a lot of fun, okay? Every day you're dealing with insects and dirt and all that kind of stuff. And the business, I mean, we had a nice lawnmower. We print out some flyers and things like that. Except we didn't have enough customers, so we weren't making a lot of money. The only asset at the time that I had was a lemon of a white Ford Escort with almost 150,000 miles on it. Now, if you cannot see it from this photo, but the passenger door, the door on the passenger side actually does not work. It does not open. So every time I remember that when I had to drive my mom around, my mom would have to go over my side, the driver's side, and then climb over to get on and off the car every time. I remember there's a local bakery that my mom and I used to drive to in this car. And we knew the bakery closes at 7 p.m. And we would go there at around 6 p.m. Do you know why? Put in the chat. Do you know why? We would go there just in time as the bakery slash the prices on all the bread they made for the day. And my mom and I, we would end up getting loads of bread for just a few dollars. And we made that bread go a long way as we eat that bread for breakfast and lunch for an entire week. I remember there was a time we would go grocery shopping and we'd go to the supermarket and we would not buy the fresh fruit or vegetables. We would always go to the almost expire section first. That's where we would do our shopping. I was heavily in debt. I maxed out all my credit cards. I read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I read How to Win Friends and Influence People. In fact, put in the chat if you read those books. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? Think and Grow Rich. How to Win Friends and Influence People. The problem was I couldn't figure out how to influence my friends to loan me more damn money. There was a lot of thinking, but there just wasn't a lot of riching. I was a junkie. I was an opportunity junkie. I had the shiny object syndrome. Back then, I just didn't know what I was doing. So if you tried multi-level marketing or drop shipping or social media or SEO or mobile apps or membership sites and Amazon and affiliate marketing and e-commerce and ebooks and info products and product launches, and you feel like deep down like, damn, fuck me, there must be an easier way to hit your financial goals. I have been there. I was jumping from one thing to another. Nothing really worked for me, right? I was buying this course. I was signing up for that course. I was learning from this person and that person, going to this seminar, going to that seminar, jumping on whatever that sounds good. That sounds like I could make a quick buck doing. I was just desperate. But the more I try to search for the answer, for success, for riches, the more I dug myself into a hole. Type in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. I had the shiny object syndrome. I mean, I was the king of shiny object syndrome. I was just like this old lady here, okay? So it's like, oh dear, this Nigerian prince needs help. And it looks like I can make a few dollars too. Well, I was that lady, right? That's how how naive and stupid I was until I had an epiphany. Now, I didn't have a name for it until much later in my life. I discovered the power of the wealth triangle, which is the very first secret that I want to share with you. That's secret number one. How the wealth triangle has helped me become a multi-millionaire by the age of 30. So take notes, write this down. There are three parts to the triangle. The first part, the first stage is what I refer to as high income skill. High income skill. And I define high income skill as a skill that could make you a minimum of $10,000 or more per month. Now, notice, I did not say high income job because maybe you have a high income job right now. That's not what I'm talking about. It is not a job. It is not a job. It's not a business either. This is not a business. It is a skill that you can offer to the marketplace in exchange of money. You are trading your hours for dollars, but for high dollars. You are turning your expertise, your passion, your experience into money. Now, why is this so important? Because high income skill provides you with stability, comfort, and peace of mind. This is your foundation. At this stage, you make you money. You got that? Then once you have the high income skill, then you move on to stage two. It's what I call scalable business. Scalable business. Now that you have a business that you can scale, you have a team around you, and now your business makes you money. You have people making you money. And once your business is generating so much profits, now you can invest those profits and move to high return investments, which is stage three. Now you're putting your money to work. And I define high return investments as investments that generate more than 10% returns on your money year in and year out. Now, not all money is all created equal. Now, with stage three, you are building your wealth. You are building your net worth. Now, if you look at this, you will see why most people fail. Most people fail because they try to start a business. They mortgage their homes, but they have no business skills or business acumen or experience whatsoever. You see this on Shark Tank, on Dragon's Den. You see it all the time, right? They invent this widget. They have an idea, and they put everything they got on the line, and they lose all their life savings. Or maybe they're just an employee. They're making 40, 50, 60, $80,000 a year. And guess what? They try to speculate in real estate. They try to jump to stage 3 without having first the high income skill. They try to speculate with the stock market. They do day trading. They try to do cryptocurrency. And then guess what happens? They lose everything. These are dreamers. These are not actual entrepreneurs. You have to understand something here. You cannot shortcut this process. If you want to be financially successful long term, you absolutely do not skip the steps. Is this making sense to you? Now, once I got this concept, I went to work. I stopped immediately looking for some opportunities that would make me rich. I stopped looking for that magic pill. I stopped looking for the next shiny object that would make me successful. I asked myself the one fucking question that forever changed my life. And here's the question. What is the one high income skill that I could develop today, that would free me from financial struggles and worries forever? I'll say that again. What's the one high income skill that I could develop today that will free me from financial struggles and worries forever? This time, I wasn't looking to become a millionaire overnight. I stopped looking for some magic pill that would make me successful. Instead of looking for external factors and forces to make me successful, I was looking within myself. And the first high income skill that I developed was copywriting. That's how I got started. Now, in case you don't know what copywriting is, it's nothing more than writing ads and marketing literatures. If you have you ever watched the show The Madman on TV? It's basically a bunch of marketing guys. They're crafting ads. They're thinking of headlines and marketing literatures. That's what I was doing, except I don't smoke. But that's what I did. And that's when I learned about marketing and human psychology. And within a year of doing that, in my early 20s, I was making $10,000 a month as a copywriter, which is in my early 20s. Now, it may not be a lot of money for some people, but let me tell you this. In my early 20s, making $10,000 a month, that was a lot of money. It's not Bill Gates' money, but me, for Dan Lok back then, it was good money. I was was able to help my mom. I was able to pay off some debt. I was able to eat. I was able to at least pay for my car payment and all those things. It was living a decent life. And then later on, I developed my next high income skill, which is consulting. Because what I noticed is when I was writing copy, sales copy for entrepreneurs and clients, they were coming to me and say, hey, Dan, okay, now you've written this piece for me. How do I use it? So I was giving them advice. I was helping them to give them some strategies. So that became my next high income skill, consulting. Then I added another 6-figure annual income to what I do. Then later on, it's public speaking, it's marketing, it's deal making, it's investing, and eventually to high ticket closing. My high income skills bought me this Audi R8 when I was 26 years old. You can see that was me at younger age with the spiky hair, with the jeans and all that stuff. Over the years, my high income skills have made me tens of millions of dollars and will continue to make me tens of millions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars till the day I die. And I use those very same skills to grow and scale my companies. Then what I do is I take those earnings, remember the wealth triangle, and I invest in real estate. It's that simple. And today my investment portfolio spans the globe, including real estate, digital marketing, education, and private equity. And I've got friends who I care deeply about and who care about me. And of course, I've got the love of my life, my wife, Jenny, who's also my best friend Isn't she awesome? Look at her. And I marry up for sure. Right? We've been together now for over 10 years, and we've been married together for 3 years now. And I bought my mom a home in Taiwan. People ask me all the time, out of all these things that I've done, all the things, quote unquote, I've accomplished, what is the thing that I'm most proud of? I could tell you without hesitation, being able to support my wife and also being able to support my mom. To fully support, for the last 8 years, I fully provided for my mom so that she doesn't have to work. She just travels and does charity work. How many would like to do that for your family? Put in the chat. I want that for you. Today, I enjoyed a very comfortable lifestyle that I myself could not imagine as a poor immigrant boy. Today, my primary residence is a 4,300 square feet home, 6 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms with a view of the water in one of the most expensive cities in the world, Vancouver. It's got a home theater, it's got a sauna room, it's got a massage chair, library, a gym, the whole 9 yards. In fact, if you actually search Dan Lok luxury home on YouTube, you see the before and renovation and before after video. My secondary residence is a $15 million penthouse in Cole Harbour, Vancouver, the Dan Lok headquarters. This is where I work. This is where I have my meetings. Where I meet with my team, where I do a lot of the filming work as well. This is the very same penthouse that Mel Gibson, Liam Neeson, and Chris Hemsworth, the Thor from Marvel, have stayed in. And now it's my home. From a $2,500 lemon to a $250,000 Bentley. What I'm about to show you is something that might shock you. It might even disappoint you in this highly sophisticated technical age where we think the next big thing is virtual reality, it's AI and blah, 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 right? Would you believe that the most powerful tool that you have within your grasp right now that can immediately turn you from a broke, nobody's ever heard of you, to a rich somebody VIP, and everyone respects you, is the telephone. The telephone. What transformed my life? All because I've dedicated my life to being a high-ticket closer. You say, what the hell, Dan? Right? What does that mean? Obviously, I've got some explaining to do. But let me tell you this. Imagine a father and a child, and the child asks the dad, Daddy, can we just have some candy for tonight, like for dinner? And you said no, even though you wanted that candy too. Right? But you said, no, that's not healthy. And the child is saying, no, come on, Daddy, please, I want to have that candy. And you say, oh, no. You have to eat your healthy vegetables. And they said, but why? I don't like vegetables. They don't taste as good as candy. And you said, well, because when you grow up, I want you to be healthy and happy, son. And as I grow up and as you grow up, I want to be there for you too. So I want to be happy and healthy too. So sometimes that means that we have to eat vegetables. We have to eat fruit in order to feel good. And of course, from time to time, we can still eat that candy for dessert from time to time. And the child says, okay, that makes sense, Dad. Thank you. Now, what do you call that? You can call that whatever you want. I call that closing because that's the easiest way to describe it. You can call that, help someone out, put, anything that you put, anything out there in the world, out there to convince someone to say yes to something that they want to say yes to, I call that closing. I don't care what you call it. I call it money. You can call that helping somebody to getting paid for it. You can call that serving somebody else's needs and having them exchange of money that's less to them in value than what they got in terms of service. But I don't think that sounds as good as closing now, does it? Here's her name. I can't believe it. I just closed my own father on his health. For months, he has been suffering from kidney problems and avoiding a treatment that would naturally cure him. Of course, it requires him to commit to a procedure of 21 days strict, something that's unpredictable, job completed. We had a heart-to-heart in which I used our high-ticket closing methods to help him realize how important this was to him and got to the root of why he kept putting it off. I am very proud to say that at this very moment, he is on his way to the store to buy the ingredients for his treatment. Thank you, Dan, Kayvon, Desmond, High Ticket Closer family, for all your inspiration. We can help willing people save their own lives with what we're doing, from the high ticket to the priceless things in life. Let's keep growing together. Here's what I've learned about business and what about life, about wealth accumulation. Everything you ever want in life, other people already have them. I don't care what it is. Money, contacts, status, resources, romance, happiness, fulfillment, you name it. All you need to do is close them. Everything you ever want in life, someone else already has them. All you need to do is close them. He's another one of my students, Aaron. So let's talk about closing. In dating, this is the area where I've seen strong, unexpected, but very much welcome results in ever since joining HTC, High Ticket Closer. Right? As someone who's in Vancouver, dating in this city has been seen as very difficult. But is that really true? With a high ticket closer mindset, it's not. And I now know it's not because you start doing things that other singles aren't doing, because you start seeing dating in a high ticket way. All my wealth, success, and fulfillment comes from my ability to close. That's it. All my wealth, success, and fulfillment comes from my ability to close. Now, let me just teach you this. Why I believe the concept of financial freedom is obsolete, is out of date. Because here's what I've learned. Just because you are, quote unquote, free today, you're financially free today, it doesn't mean you're free tomorrow, or 2 years from now, or 5 years from now. Have you ever met someone who seems to be financially free in 1 year, and then next year something bad happens to the business, something bad happens to the economy, something bad happens to the investments, and suddenly they're not so free anymore? Because I have gone through a lot of ups and downs in my career, in my life as well. What I notice is whenever I make a bad investment, I'm suddenly less free. You know what I'm saying? And you could see companies who made billions of dollars could go bankrupt just like this, snap of a finger. So that's why I believe the concept of financial freedom is obsolete. It is an illusion. Yes, it is an illusion. Now you might be saying, well, Dan, if not financial freedom, then what? I say don't aim for financial freedom. Instead, aim for financial confidence. That's correct. Don't aim for financial freedom. Aim for financial confidence. Develop the skills, the high income skills, and the confidence and the ability to make money on demand. So it doesn't matter what happens in the economy. It doesn't matter if you lose everything tomorrow, because you know you could make it back. To me, that's true stability. That's true freedom. That's true security. I am not relying on a third party or even the government or an investment to provide for me. You getting this? Type in the chat if you're getting this. Because it never ceases to amaze me how most people think of nothing when they're buying a car or buying a plasma TV. Cost them thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars. Basically, a doodad. But when it comes to buying financial confidence, it is such a major decision. They would buy everything else. They would invest in everything else except in themselves. A number of years ago, I was speaking at a business conference. Now, it was a 2-day event. It was a 2-day seminar. And I was one of the keynote speakers. In fact, I was the first speaker on the day. And after my presentation, I stayed. I sat there, front row seat, front row and center as an audience. I was taking notes. And after about 30 minutes into the second speaker's speech presentation, I stood up and I started walking to the back table. And people were looking at me and they thought, oh, maybe I was bored or maybe I was just going back to my hotel room. No, I was walking towards the back table and sign up for the speaker's education. I know what I want and I know what action I need to take to better my life. I don't need someone to tell me that I need to stand up and go to the back. I know what's best for me. And the staff in the back, they said to me, but Dan, you don't know the price yet. I said, it doesn't matter. Here's my credit card. I don't care how much it costs. Yeah, but Dan, you don't know what it is. You don't know what you're getting. You don't know if it's a course. You don't know if it's a seminar. You don't know if it's a CD, DVD. You don't know what it is you're getting. I said, it doesn't matter. I want what he has to offer. Just here's my credit card. Just sign me up. It doesn't matter. And I did the same thing for the third speaker. I did the same thing for the fourth speaker. Now, on that day, I must have invested over $7,000 in my own education in a single day. Finally, one of the staff, he couldn't help. He said, he asked me the question, Dan, I don't understand. Can I ask you a question? I said, sure. Don't you know enough about building wealth and building business? Like, why are you signing up for these programs and courses? I mean, you're already a millionaire, for God's sakes. You teach this stuff. You're on the stage alongside with them. I said, dude, listen to me. How do you think I get to become a millionaire? Like, duh. See, isn't it interesting how people who need the information the most don't seem to be seeking it? People who are struggling financially don't seem to be seeking it. People who need help, people who always complain about the finances, they don't seem to be seeking solutions. Do you have friends? Let me ask you this. Do you have friends and family that you know that they should be watching videos? They should be learning. They should be on this training right now. And you know they would benefit from it, but yet they're not here. Type in the chat box, actually. If you have people in your life saying to you, oh, what? You're going to another seminar? You're jumping on another webinar? Or make sure they don't sell you anything, right? Well, listen to me. Stop taking advice from broke people on how to get rich. Stop taking advice from people on how to get rich. Sometimes people who love you the most, they're the ones who mess you up. They're called family. Remember, anyone who gives you advice, you take their advice, you take their lives. Do you want the life that they have? Do you want the lifestyle that they have? Because when you take the advice, you take the lifestyle. You see, successful people, we don't worry about what other people think. It's not their business. Let me ask you a question. Wouldn't you agree that if you didn't care so much what people think of you, if you would have taken more action, way more action, wouldn't you agree that you would be way further ahead by now? When you're in your 20s, you're very concerned what people think about you. When you are in your 30s, you don't really care that much about what people think about you. When you get into your 40s, you discover the truth. Nobody was even thinking about you at all. At all. Write this down. Think ROI. Think ROI. What do I mean by that? Return on investment. Return on investment. Wouldn't you agree that millionaires, we think very differently than the poor and the middle class? Put in a chat. Yes, we do. Our minds just function differently. And my job today here is to help you understand the distinction and start making some more powerful decisions. You see, that $7,000 investment has made me $100,000 in the first 30 days. I got all my money back the first day I used the material. You see, making money is not difficult. Money is math. Write it down. Money is math. Millionaires, we think in terms of return on investment. ROI. You buy something for $7,000 and it makes you $100,000. How many of you think, put in chat, how many of you think that that's a bargain? It's a no-brainer. In fact, how many of you would want me to sell you something for $7,000 that would make you $100,000? How many of you would want me to? Put in the chat. If you're not putting yes in the chat, let me tell you this, I cannot help you. I mean it. I've got nothing to teach you. In fact, nobody could teach you because you don't get it. Your mindset is so locked into, I don't want to buy anything. I just want to make money. Well, I don't blame you. I used to think the same way and I was fucking broke. I was struggling when I had that mentality. I see it all the time. People get in their own way more often than they think. They fuck themselves up. You see, poor people have this mindset. I can't afford it. It costs us too much. Yeah, I know this piece of investment will give me a 10% return, 20% return, but I just can't afford it. In the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki talks about this. He said the statement of I can't afford it shuts down your thinking. But by asking the right question, your mind opens up and looks for answers. So a more powerful, more empowering question to ask is, how can I afford it? How can I afford it? Now, except it's just shift in mindset, isn't it? I believe a more powerful question to ask is this: how can I make it make me money? How could I make it make me money? You see, millionaires, we don't care how much it costs. We think return on investment. We want to know how much it can make us. That's all that matters. If the investment is this much and it makes me that much, let's go. It's that simple. Because I could give you the skills, I could give you a step-by-step system of how I do what I do. But if you don't make that mental shift, you think like a poor person, you will find a way to take yourself out of the game. And you'll find a way to self-sabotage your own success. You'll find a way to fuck it all up. Is this making sense to you? Type in the chat if this is making sense. Secret number 2, why high ticket closing is one of the most high paying and most in demand professions in the world. I believe it is the number one high income skill that you can develop today that can get you to that 6-figure income quickly and easily. Let me explain. Have you noticed this? That your average entrepreneur, they are too busy running their business. Now the marketplace, it's more competitive than ever. Cost of advertising is going up. If you run your own business, if you market online, you know what I'm talking about. The old days of slapping something together on a website or web page and making money, with that, it is over, because most of the things that you see being sold today that are under $200 online, they're simply designed to get a customer to break their wallet out and start doing business with whoever is selling to them. You with me? The real money is after the first $200 is exchanged. This is when companies and entrepreneurs, they realize, well, you know what? Now we got their attention. We've earned their trust. We've earned the business. We need to follow up with them specifically to offer them products and services between $3,000, $10,000, $25,000, or even $50,000. Write it down. I call these high ticket offers. High ticket offers. And here's the deal. It's virtually impossible to close these high ticket offers just on the internet. These high ticket offers, they need to be closed on the phone, on the telephone. It's difficult to sell a $3,000, $5,000, $25,000, or $50,000 offers with a tweet, with a Facebook post, with just a little line, with a Snapchat, with a 30-second video. No, these high ticket offers, they need to be closed on the phone. Now you may be thinking, okay, Dan, I got it. What has this to do with me, and what has this to do with making money? This is where we come in. This is where you come in. All these business leaders, they spent a fortune. All these companies, they spent a fortune every month generating leads, converting those leads, running webinars, doing email follow-ups, making videos, and publishing content. But they don't make the real money. Listen to me. They don't make the real money until a high ticket closer gets on the phone and closes these high ticket offers for them. And they are happy. They are happy to pay you 10% to 15% commission if you can do that for them. You can be the ringmaker. It means this. It means you can make an incredible income without ever creating a single product, running a single ad, building a single website, or cold calling a single person. Do you see how profound this is? Can you see why you should be excited about this? Type in the chat box if you're getting this. I want you to imagine you're running a relay race with Usain Bolt. He's running the first 399 meters, and he's handing you the baton, and you're running the last meter, okay? Now, if you guys are racing any other team, and he hands the baton off to you at the end, and you take that one step, are you part of the winning team? Yes or no? And who gets all the glory? Who gets all the fame? Who gets all the applause? Yes, the person who crossed the finish line. That's who. Let me ask you this question. In fact, let me ask you a question in another way. Does anyone win a race if they don't cross the finish line? No. And here's what's happening online. All of these entrepreneurs, all these companies, they're focusing so much of their effort to get to the race, to train for the race, to condition for the race. And they start running the race, and they get all the way to the end, but they shot their wad before they cross the finish line. And this isn't just talking about one or two people here. We're talking about this from a one-person influencer, entrepreneur, thought leader, to Fortune 500 companies. Those are some of the companies we work with right now. That's why they need you. Because all these companies, they are coming to me every single day saying, listen. They're almost to the finish line, but they don't even have enough energy or know how to take another step. And then boom, you come in and you help them cross that finish line. And you know what happens when you do that? You know what happens when you help them cross the finish line? They reach in their pockets and they say, listen, this is my price. This is my price from winning this race, $10,000. I want you to have $1,000 of it. Even though they did 99% of the work, but you did the 1% that mattered. You crossed the finish line for them, right? You like the idea? Put in the chat. Type in the chat box. Write this down. Whoever can make it rain controls the game. Whoever can make it rain controls the game. Now, you might be saying right now, but Dan, I don't want to be a sleazy, slimy salesperson. I get it. I want you to imagine a situation where you are knocking door to door, saying, hey, I got a fire extinguisher here. You need me to put out a fire for you? You are knocking on door, you are interrupting the neighbors, you are while they're cooking, you're knocking on the door, they just put the baby down, and then now baby is crying, is now awake. Somebody else is on an important phone call and you have just interrupted them. Nobody likes that, right? If you ever had someone knock on the door, we don't like that. We don't like that. That is called cold calling. That's what that is. You're knocking on every single door, hoping that you can find somebody to put a fire out in their house, right? But that's not what we do. What we do is the opposite. I want you to imagine a totally different situation. You are walking down the street and you just so happen to have a fire extinguisher in your hands. And somebody runs up to you and says, "Oh my God, my house is on fire. Can you help me, please? Can you put it out?" And it's right there. And you look over there, and sure enough, the house is on fire. And you go over there and you put out the fire for them. And they say, "Oh my God, thank you. Thank you so much. What can I do to repay you? Here's all the money I have in my pockets. Please, please take the money. You've just saved my house, you saved my family. Please, thank you." And you say, "You're welcome." That's the difference. That's the difference. So yes, cold calling this and that, of course, is greasy, is slimy, is snake. Oh, nobody likes that. It's not something I would recommend you to do. But don't you think instead of helping people who are looking for help, they're looking for some extra information. They are needing to be talked through something that before they could invest in it, before they could buy, before they would make their purchase. Isn't that a good thing to do? Again, so why are you so valuable to these companies and entrepreneurs? Because they've done 99% of the work. They've done 99% of work for you to get the prospects in, get the customers in. But these prospects, these customers, they just don't know what they don't know. And you give them the extra 1%, they're 5%. And they're thinking, "Gee, why did I ever think about not saying yes to this immediately?" That's what we do as a high ticket closer. So let me define that for you. What exactly is high ticket closing? High ticket closing is getting someone to ask you for what you are selling and have them believe it was their idea. That's correct. They are literally begging you, asking you, "Whatever you're selling, please, I am buying. I am buying." Wouldn't you agree that it's a lot more difficult to do that over the internet, on a page, through a video, or just in an email or in a tweet? Don't you think it makes sense to the people that you care about the most? What do? Don't you call them? Don't you meet them in person? Don't you talk to them on the phone? The people that you want to help the most, or the people who have helped you the most, didn't they do it in person on the telephone? Think about it. I want you to think about it. So it's true. If you're gonna have to talk to people, and it's the most powerful thing about this is you're gonna talk to a certain specific type of people who've already put up their hand and saying, "Hey, I need some help with this." They haven't been helped adequately enough yet. And you just help them. You just help them move forward. That not just helps them, but also puts a lot of money in your pocket, which helps you, right? That's the step. That is the step. Now, listen, with that, I know a lot of people sometimes they think, "Oh, but what about the doing like outreach and talking to people and doing outbound and things like that." You know what? What I believe is this: once you make your first 100K, once you develop that high income skill, if you decide that you want to make even more, and if you want to make it ridiculously fast, and maybe you want to consider adding that to your tool belt, and I could help you with that too. But for most of you on this training today, there are plenty of people just listen to me. There are companies just lines and lines of them already waiting for you just to help them make a decision that they're already wanting to make. But they just need to talk to a person, a human being first to help them make that decision. Is this making sense? So, what is a high ticket closer? Who is a high ticket closer? A high ticket closer is a doer, a positive minded achiever, an aggressor. A high ticket closer is a compulsive, driven person with a desire to win, to succeed, to sell, to become the best, nothing less. So, what makes you a high ticket closer? A high ticket closer is someone who could and would and do more than any salesman, salesperson, saleswoman ever dreamed about accomplishing. A high ticket closer is someone who knows how to warm up to people. He or she knows how to get clients feeling good about themselves. He or she has a way of building his or her clients up so much that they cannot possibly say no. A high ticket closer is a special kind of salespeople that people like, that people get excited with, people believe in, and people feel special around. A high ticket closer, he or she is true and convincing, someone who is sincere and authentic. Why high ticket closing is the highest paying part-time profession in the world today? Reason number one, high profits due to low or no overhead. You just need a computer and a telephone. That's it. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't need software. You don't need office space. You don't have to spend time building websites and creating landing pages and running ads and driving traffic and buying software and building funnels and doing all these things. Your client, the expert, the entrepreneur is doing all of that for you. Reason number two, predictable and stable high income. You can make $10,000 a month working with just one. How many? One. One business leader, one company, and one thought leader. You don't have to worry about getting new clients. In fact, your clients are more worried about you leaving them, and I'll prove that to you in just a second. Reason number three, you can start fast. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need credibility. You don't need to be well known. You don't need a marketing budget. Your client has all of that already. You are not selling you. Listen to me. You are not selling you. It has nothing to do with you. You are selling them. You're selling their high ticket offers. What it means is, it means you can start making great income in as little as 60 days. Reason number four, freedom. This is truly a freedom-based business. You can work when you want, where you want, and how much you want. And you never, ever have to drag family and friends into some bullshit MLM deal, lotion, potion, vitamins, none of that crap. You will only talk to warm prospects who actually want what you have to offer. You never have to drag anyone, people that you know, into any kind of these deals. Why? Reason number five, no product creation or service delivery needed. You don't need to create the products. You don't need to deliver the coaching, run the workshop, fulfill the services, because again, you are not selling you. You're selling other people's high ticket offers. And you don't need to buy inventory or try to get products from China, Amazon, or create any of the content. Reason number six, low stress and very low tech. You don't need to build a massive email list. In fact, you don't even need a list at all. You don't need to learn complicated marketing techniques. All you need to know is good telephone skills. Tell me, does it get any more low tech than that? Reason number seven, happier clients. This is the most important of all, because you are actually helping people. You're helping the expert. You're helping the company. You're helping them to get results. You are making them and yourself a lot of money every month. Everyone else in the company is an expense. But you are the profit maker. You are the one who helps them to get to cross the finish line. And they'll love you for it. They'll love you for it. This is a high profit, stress-free side hustle that you can be very proud of. You could be very proud to tell people what you do, that you are a high ticket closer. And if you're selling any of your own products and services, in fact, put in the chat, if you run your own business and you sell your own products and services, put in the chat and tell me what you're selling right now. The ability to close high ticket sales on the phone will easily double, triple, even 10x your income. Why? Because this. Here's another one of my students. Thanks to Dan's teaching, I'm now, as of today, at $71,500 in gross sales with 75% profit margin. I will hit 100K this month. This month, listen to this. All this was accomplished after 3 calls, 9 hours. Week 4, 5, and 6, which is what I teach. Week 4, 5, and 6. I joined at week 4. I used the techniques taught in those 3 calls. No script. I'm grateful for this amazing family and team. Today, I moved to a new buyer from $18,000 to $33,000 in one 44-minute call. Thank you, Dan, for reminding me of the edge I had lost. Here's Sean, and Sean is a martial artist. This doesn't just work for high end. I'm talking about a martial art instructor. So a martial art consultation today, boom, we say boom, for all my students know. Whenever we close a sale, we post in Facebook group and say boom. It's a celebration. So everybody knows. 900, and you can see the screenshot, $997. Here's Kyle. 3 one-year contracts in the fitness business. Signed today. Over $8,000 in new revenue. One single day. One single day. And you can see those 3 contracts. There's very little relationship between being good at what you do and getting paid. Doesn't matter. I can see people struggle, entrepreneurs and business owners, all the time. They're very passionate about what they do. They're very good at what they do. They love what they do. They've got a good product. They've got good program. They've got good services. But there's very little relationship between being good at what you do and getting paid. However, there's a huge relationship between being good at what you do and being able to close sales and getting paid. Here's another one of my students. This video is just for you, Sifu. They call me Sifu because they know my martial art background. It's in Chinese term, it means teacher. It means mentor. You see a lot of them call me Sifu, even on social media. Thank you, Sifu, Dan, Desmond, Kayvon, and the rest of the CC family. Using your teaching, practicing role play, and applying into my daily business life, I was able to increase my income today by $32,250. I'm so pumped I had to share. The ability to close sales. It is the number one skill that you need to be successful in life and in business. Everything that you want in life and in business, other people already have them. Somebody has what you want. What you need to do is to develop that high income skill, to develop that ability to close, to communicate, to articulate your value. Secret number 3, high ticket closing. Why high ticket closing is the easiest money that you'll ever make. So your average CEOs and entrepreneurs, they are busy in their own businesses. We've talked about this. They are busy. They are doing their speaking gigs. They are running workshops. They are coaching clients. They're creating content. They're running ads. They're writing emails. They're doing product launches. They're making videos. They're managing the team. I could go on and on and on, but I think you get the idea, right? You get the idea. And these successful entrepreneurs know that they need to be doing high ticket sales. They know, they know it. They know that they are leaving hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars on the table. But here's a big but. They don't have the time or the ability to close these sales on the phone themselves. They are busy or some simply just bad positioning, right? For an expert to be on the phone. It's just bad positioning. They haven't got a clue where to find and hire high ticket closers. And even just with luck, let's say they do find these closers, they don't know how to train these people and turn them into high ticket closers. And they have an advertising budget, because one of the things that I teach within my program is we only work with players with money. Write it down. PWM, players with money. Players with money. Here's some of the opportunities that's online on Facebook, right? Just on Facebook. Listen to this. Would you like to earn a fantastic income comparable to what doctors make by helping people achieve their dreams, all while working from home or from anywhere in the world? Would you like to be on the phone with, listen to me, pre-sold prospects every day who are eager to speak with you? Would you like to earn $500 per sale or more with no cold calling? Sales experience is not essential, as training will be provided. Here's another one. Would you like to earn $500 or more per enrollment? Would you like to be handed at least 5 red hot pre-sold inbound leads every day to talk to with zero cold calling? 5 red hot pre-sold inbound leads, prospects, applicants every day to talk to with zero cold calling. Would you like to be on the phone with prospects that have already said yes 10 times? 10 times before they even get on the phone with you. Here's another one. I am hiring another sales superstar ASAP. As we've been growing very quickly, we do around 30 to 40 new front end sales a day and sell $2,000 to $10,000 packages weekly. Looking for one superstar to hire. Here's another one. We are hiring one to lead sales at an established and growing startup. We have over 100 customers, right? Boom. Here's another one. Hiring an enrollment coach. Ladies, do you want to earn $5,000 or $10,000 a month from your home office kitchen table in your pajamas, helping people reclaim their health? I could go on and on and on and on. This is basic business. This is not rocket science. There's a lot of demand can you see? There's a lot of demand in the marketplace and little supply. When that happens in business, there's a fortune to be made. And the trend's not going away. Now, is this all now making sense to you now? Is this clicking for you? So let's go through some more success stories. Here's another one of my students. Boom, just got off the phone with the influencer. The deal is closed, and I will be closing his high ticket programs starting the first week in January. First, I provided value on the call, and then he actually got me to pretend that he was a prospect. And well, you know what happened next? I shut down that deal and closed him, and he said, that was very good. And I have you starting in January. I'm so grateful to have come across this opportunity at this stage in my life. I want to firstly thank Dan Locke, Kay Von Desmond, and all the other members in the Dan Locke team for putting this together. I'm a high ticket closer. So let me teach you. Let me take you some behind the scenes, show you some numbers. I'm going to assume that you don't want to work the 9 to 5 each day, because most people wouldn't want to work the 9 to 5 if they have a choice. Wouldn't you want to rather spend time with your family or travel or just be at home, right? So I'm gonna show you how you can make an incredible income from just one or two clients. and how to make a lot of money working just a few hours a day. Now, there's work involved. Don't get me wrong, but let's work smart. Here's Shelly. Boom, closed my first four sales. Four sales on packages priced at $3,000, $3,700, and $5,000. Closing my fourth sale bumped me up to receiving 20% commission of my fourth sale based on climbing commission scales. So let's run some numbers. Let's say your client has a $5,000 high ticket offer, a $5,000 offer. And let's say your commission is not 20%, it's just 10%. You're just starting out. Let's say it's 10%. So that means you make $500 a sale. You with me? And let's say your closing ratio using my proven script is 20%. It's just 20%. It means you will talk to 5 qualified prospects a day. And remember, all the leads are provided to you. All the leads are provided to you. It means you make 1 sale a day. 1 sale a day equals $500. What do most people have to do to make $500? They have to work very, very hard, long hours to make $500. You just make that in a day. And let's just pretend you work only 4 days a week. Just 4 days a week. And you take 3 days off to do whatever you want. Just 4 days a week. That gives you $2,000 a week. That's $8,000 a month with no business expense whatsoever. And here's the best part. You ready for this? You've just made your client $80,000 in sales. Remember, you get 10% commission. They still keep 90% of the money. Let me ask you this. Is the client happy? Yes. Is he going to keep you around? Yes, you bet. Now it makes sense why they're more worried about you leaving them than they're worried about losing you. Imagine how much money you're bringing them. But here's what gets very exciting. Let's say your client has a $10,000 high ticket offer. And one of my superstars, Kayvon, actually now selling 17K offers. I have students selling now 10, 20, 25, 50, 100K, 200K offers. But you're just getting started. Let's just say you're closing 10K. And let's say you get a little bit better. Now remember, Charlie's getting 20%, but let's say you get 15%. You get a little bit better, you can negotiate a better rate. So 15%. That equals $1,500 a sale. You with me so far? So $1,500 a sale. And let's say now with practice, with some experience, you're not closing just 20%, you're closing 25%. So instead of 1 out of 5, you're closing now 1 out of 4. Okay? So 1 out of 4. And let's say instead of talking to 5 people, you're talking to 8 qualified prospects a day. And again, all the leads are provided to you. All these leads would be inbound leads that they have filled out some kind of application form. They've gone through a process before they ever talk to you. They book a time to speak with you. That means you make 2 sales a day. That's $3,000. And let's say you don't mind to work. You're aggressive, right? You are an achiever, and you don't mind to hustle. And you work 5 days a week. 5 days a week. That equals to $15,000. $15,000. That's $60,000 a month. $60,000 a month, or $720,000 a year. $720,000 a year. What's your cost of running the business? 0. What's your risk? 0. Forget the $720,000 a year. What if you could just do half of that? In fact, screw that. What if just do even 20% of that? How would that change your life? He's another one of my students. Sid, boom, just closed my first 20K sale, made $2,000 in an hour. This is the most money I ever made in an hour. I want to thank Seafood, Dan Locke, Desmond Soon, and Kayvon for teaching this skill. I invested in many other courses, but never made any money. This is the first time I started to develop a skill that I made money. Seafood, I'm truly grateful for this opportunity. HTC for life. Can you see how this is possible? Can you see how this is possible for you? How would that kind of income change your life? Even if you just start doing it in your spare time on a part-time basis. Let me tell you a little bit about Kayvon. Here's Kayvon. He was completely lost as an internet wannabe, trying to figure things out, trying to make it. He was $120,000 in debt and sinking fast and lost all direction, lost all hope, and he was about to fail. I mean, fail. He was days away from bankruptcy. But something within him that stopped him from doing that. He has tried affiliate marketing. Maybe you tried some of these things that he has tried. He has tried drop shipping. He has tried 7 different multi-level marketing network marketing opportunities. He has tried being a coach. He has tried being a consultant. He has tried writing a book and then got scammed, actually, $10,000. He has tried joining different programs and different mastermind groups and different coaching groups and bought every program that he could find. But none of those worked for him until he found me, Dan Locke. He saw me at my TEDx talk. And at first he said to himself, who is this guy in his red suit? Who does he think he is? But something within him said, you know what? Maybe there's something to this person. There's something about him that is so different. And he asked me, he came to me and said, Dan, can you help me? And I said, yes, I could help you. He said, I've tried everything. Could you really help me? I said, yes, I could help you, but under one condition. He said, whatever you say, I'll do. And I said, you got to do exactly what I tell you to do. You don't change a fucking word. You don't change a letter. You're going to do exactly what I tell you to do. He said, you got it. I taught him the skill of high ticket closing in 1 month. How he went from a struggling wannabe entrepreneur to selling $145,709 in his first 29 days. He went from losing $25,000 a month to earning $25,000 a month. He turned his life around because I gave him the skill, the one skill that changed everything. He now works with the world's best industry experts. He works his own hours and have experts begging him to close for them. This month alone, he's now earning $40,000 working 25 to 30 hours a week max. He is a different man. He's working from anywhere he wants in the world. This is Kelsey, Kayvon's girlfriend. They've been together. Look at that face. Now he's traveling. He's a different man. Finally, he's now the man he's always dreamed of becoming, of being. And I want you to be our next success story. I want you to feature your story. I want you to be here on this particular slide next time I do a training like this. Secret number 4. You don't need to be an expert at high ticket sales. Listen to me. You don't need to be an expert at high ticket sales. Here's why. No experience is needed because all the traditional sleazy sales techniques don't actually work when it comes to high ticket sales. Now, put in a chat if you have ever had any sales training in the past, or you've done any kind of selling, or you've done some programs, you've gone through some training in the past. Let me just say this. When it comes to high ticket closing, there are very specific strategies how this is done. You never have to do the fast talking, slimy salesperson. In fact, those techniques don't work when it comes to high ticket closing. I'll teach you how to be a powerful, confident, high ticket closer without all the trial and error. Here's Chin. Hey, HTC family, I want to share a recent win with all of you. First off, a quick bit of background. I've been following Dan Lok for over a year and finally met him a couple months ago. A mutual friend of ours held a private mastermind for high-level entrepreneurs, which Dan and I both attended. I originally asked Dan if he could send me some of his best HTC graduates for my new high-ticket offer. So Chin, he was looking for closers himself. But he had a better idea. He told me to join the program first, so I signed up with batch 3, which is season 3. I've never had any formal sales training. Listen, he's never had any formal sales training. But the first 3 weeks gave me such confidence. I thought, fuck it. I'll advertise the high ticket offer and early and see if I can close some of the applications myself. I watched the role plays with Kayvon and Desmond 3 or 4 times as I waited for the calls to come in. First call was a bust. Second call, I closed a $15,000 package. The entire call took about 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I thought this might be beginner's luck. So I made 2 more calls and closed another $15K package. The second close took a little bit longer, but was still a lot easier than I expected. 4 phone calls, 2 closes, $30,000 in one day. Not that it was ever in any doubt, but needless to say, Dan's stuff is criminally effective. Think about how many people, how much work they have to do. How they don't even make 30K in a year. Forget 30K in a day. Can you see the power of being a high ticket closer? So why no experience is needed? Because someone else already done the groundwork for you and grunt work for you. You don't need to know anything about sales. I actually prefer that you don't, because I don't have to correct all your bad habits. We will provide you with the script and role play with you. I would train you. I would coach you. My team would do that to make sure that you master this skill. I'm also going to teach you how to get contracts, how to get those influencers, how to sign up those companies as well, if that's what you want to do. Here's Mark Logan. In my last update, I shared that my goal for March was to hit 50K in closed sales by the end of the month. I took a moment to reflect, and I'm happy to say, boom, mission accomplished. $58,036 in sales. Attention, 100K, you are next. So let me teach you, let me share with you a common high ticket sales funnel. Where do these leads come from, and what process they've gone through? So very simply speaking, let's say the company or the expert or the influencer or the entrepreneur, they are running Facebook ads. You've seen the Facebook ads. They're running a Facebook ad, and they would drive those leads, those prospects, let's say to go through a webinar, kind of like this, go through a webinar like this. And at the end of that webinar, they would encourage them, hey, if this is good and you like what you see, if you want more information, you want us to help you personally, fill out this form, right? And then they would go fill the form, the prospect, to schedule a time with the closer, which is where you come in to talk with them. What it means is this. It means the expert is generating the leads and putting the prospects through a series of trust building steps. This is very critical. You never cold call anyone. You will only be talking to prospects who have gone through a process, a funnel, and have filled out an application form So I want you to put yourself in their shoes. When someone does this, that they have clicked on an ad, they have watched a webinar, they have gone through a series of steps, and now they go to a page, they fill the application form, and now they book a time with you. I want you to think about a prospect like that. You only talk to people who are pre-interested and, most importantly, pre-qualified. All you have to do is follow my high ticket closing system and methodology and get paid. It doesn't get any easier than that. Here's Cody. Attending Manfluential was an incomparable decision and life choice. After dinner Friday night with Dan Locke, Desmond Soon, and family, I knew it was time to step up. Here's the story. On Saturday, I gained 3 new clients. The first client wants me to close their 3K to 5K items. The second client wants me to close a 6K item for them. The last client has 2 different price items. The first item is $1.2 million, and the second is 2.3. Because I'm in season 2, batch 2, and still need to graduate, I told the 3 clients they would have to wait 2 more weeks for me to finish HTC. Every single client agreed. Do you understand what this means? Before Cody even graduated from the program, people were waiting. Companies were waiting. Yes, okay, no problem. We'll wait for you to graduate. There's so much demand in the marketplace. I've said this already. So much demand and very little supply. Imagine putting yourself in a situation like this. Sales is simple because your clients, successful entrepreneurs and thought leaders and companies, they know that they need to make high ticket sales because that's where the money is. They already have a reputation, an offer, a list, an advertising budget, and high ticket closing produces real results for them. They can't be bothered doing this. Remember, they are busy in their own businesses. They've got enough things going on. Here's Victoria. Oh my goodness, burning the midnight oil. I just closed a 7K offer for my influencer. I'm finally going in to take calls on a daily basis, and this was one way to end a Friday night. Awesome job. And remember, the entrepreneurs don't have the time or inclination to do this themselves and jump. They jump at the opportunity for others to do it for them, for high ticket closers to do it for them. Here's Tara. Just have to say thanks again to Dan, Kayvon, and Desmond for rewiring my brain these past 6 weeks. Yesterday, I closed a prospect for a $2,200 product that I'm affiliate for that I probably never would have been able to close. So incredibly grateful for HTC. Dan, you're changing people's lives, and I'm blessed to be part of it. Thank you. So you now know why it's absolutely critical to develop your high income skill for long-term financial success and how the wealth triangle works, and why high ticket closing is one of the most high paying and most in demand professions in the world today, and how high ticket closing is the easiest money that you'll ever make for others, for other influencers, or for yourself if you are selling your own products and services, and why you don't need to be an expert at high ticket sales in order to get started today. So here's my big problem. Every single week, I get dozens of requests from company. Remember the darker reason I talked to you about in the beginning of this training? The catch, because there's always a catch, right? Well, here's the catch. It's very simple. I need you. Because I would like to pretend that this is me just giving back to the universe and there's some good karma for doing that. Yes, there is. But I'm still an entrepreneur. I am a capitalist at heart. So if I can help you become a high ticket closer, do you know how much more money that's going to make me? You know how much more favor that's going to win me? Because every day, every week, I get companies coming to me and say, Dan, we need closers on the phone. because everybody's forgotten that the telephone is the number one most effective way to make money. And everyone is thinking about Facebook and Instagram, funnels and blogging and creating content and running ads and doing this and doing that. That's great. Let them do all of that. But to get it over the finish line, that's you. That's you, right? So that's my problem. So I have two options. Option number one, I could start taking on these clients and building infrastructure, renting a big office, essentially a massive sales floor, and hire lots of employees. That's one way to do it. Or I could certify a small group of people that I can trust and make them a high ticket closer and give them these contracts. And then in return, I get a small piece of the action. That's why I'm doing this training, because I'm looking for go-getters. People who don't make fucking excuse, that I can train and join my team and take on these contracts and deals. I'm very transparent about my motive. Why am I doing this? So in the next 60 days, I will be personally working with 49 lucky people to develop their high income skills and walk them through my high ticket closing methodologies. I will not try to hard sell you on this. The fact is, if you need convincing, this isn't for you. You know who you are and you know what you want. And you know if you belong to this group or not. In fact, if you're the right person, you probably already made that decision you want in like an hour ago. If that's you, put in a chat. I'm going to walk you through my entire curriculum, what I do. So you know exactly what you're getting when you decide to be a high ticket closer. I'm going to take you under my wings and show you the fastest path to six figures as a high ticket closer. I don't care how much experience you have or don't have, we are going to do this together as a team and get started together. I don't want no looky-loos, no wannabes, just players, serious players. Now, this training program is like nothing else you've ever seen before, and here's what makes it different. Number one, you get 7 live classes with me, walking you through my complete high ticket closers course curriculum step by step. This is not a recording. This is not going to be a membership site. Well, here's a username, password, watch some videos and good luck. No, this is me, Dan Locke, training you live from the comfort of your own home. You can participate virtually from anywhere in the world. We now have students in over 100 countries. What's in a class now is a global movement. At the end of each class, you also get Q&A time with me, so you can ask your questions and I will answer it right there on the spot. Then you also get templates, scripts, checklists for every class to help you follow along so you can take action and implement. That's the key, is to implement. You will join each weekly class through a live webcast format from the comfort of your own home. You also get the recordings if there's some emergency. In some cases, you cannot make to the live class live. You can watch them. I'm going to give you the recording so you can watch them over and over again on your computer, iPad, or smartphone. However, I want to emphasize this. I want you to participate live. I only teach high ticket closer a couple of times a year because every time I do it live over a 7-week period. A 7-week period. So every single week, there will be one class and you will be joining us. I only do this a few times a year. My current hourly rate, my consulting rate is $5,000 US per hour. You can see this actually on clarity.fm. That's what I charge. That's what people pay me for an hour of my time. Within the high ticket closer certification program, you get 14 hours of my direct mentorship through a 7-week period, 2 hours each week. That is a solid $70,000 worth of value. And at the end of 7 weeks, you will also be certified as a high ticket closer by me. You'll get a certificate like this in the mail, in the mailbox. It means you have the skill of high ticket closing with you for the rest of your life. Here's Marina. It's here. Received a package this morning in UK. There were even more amazing surprises inside too. Again, feeling blessed and grateful to have found this path with such great mentors and to be in this journey with inspirational people from all backgrounds and from all over the world. Thank you, Dan, Desmond, and Kayvon. It has a new place in the desk as of today. Wonderful wealth trigger. By the way, even after a 4-year college degree, my diploma didn't came even close to the HTC certificate in style or quality. To everyone that is in this path, we rock, or even better, we close. Here's Christina. This certificate means more to me than my law degree. The mentorship by Sifu and his wonderful team is priceless. And hopefully this relationship will last for the rest of my life. My next degree would be 100K on my bank account. How to get there? Just follow Sifu and apply his teachings. Be a good student. Love, Christina. You also get a chance to close sales for me, my team, and my network of companies and millionaire entrepreneurs. More than that, I've also have contracts from Fortune 500 companies to the closers who are very, very good. I'm more than happy to give you those contracts as well. This is now, we're talking not just smaller level, now we're talking truly high ticket sales. So I have ready to go contracts for my best students. And this is not some bullshit online training program with a bunch of stupid videos. I want to emphasize this. This is a live mentorship program. This is intense. This is me live. This is an opportunity for you to be mentored by me personally and work with me side by side. And like I said, I've ready to go contracts for my best students. This is not for everyone. This is for serious people who have been following my work for a period of time, which means you've watched at least some of my YouTube videos or you've read my books. This is not for you, by the way, if you're scared to talk to people on the phone. If your confidence is that low, well, then I think you really need this program. This is not for you if you're not coachable. I only want go-getters who makes no excuses and can get shit done. Is that you? Put in a chat. Is that you? So in total, we're talking about $70,000 worth of value if you were an outsider. But when you take action right now during this training, during this webinar, the investment of the high ticket closer certification program is not $70,000. It is not $50,000, which is what I charge for 1 day of consulting. It is not $25,000. It is not even $10,000. And it's not even $5,000 for just an hour of my time. The entire 7-week high ticket closer certification program is only $24.95. It's $2,500. And if your cash flow is a little bit tight, I get it. I've been there as well. You can even take me up on my 3 easy installment option as well. You can take advantage of that. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to click on the button below and take action now. I want you to ask yourself this question. If all the high ticket closer program did for you was to generate an extra $5,000 a month in income for you, would that be worth the $2,500 investment? If all the high ticket closer program did for you was to give you the skill, the confidence, the status that you need to close anybody, anytime, would that be worth it? I want you to know that I don't do this a lot. I only teach this a few times a year. This is not what I do for a living. I make my living being a high-ticket closer, closing big deals and building companies and through my investments. This is the only time I'm making this available and the only time I will make it available. I'm only doing this a few times a year. I'm doing this because I need closers. We need closers for the companies and for myself. So click on the button below on the screen right now and take action. And because you're going to be joining my team, this is going to be the beginning of a lifetime relationship. Unlike most of these programs, so-called programs out there, you invest in the program and that's it. You do go through some training, you watch some videos. No, we are going to be working closely together. I want you to become as successful as possible because that's my business model. Your success is my priority. The more money you make, the more money I make. I want you to send me an email. I want you to post in Facebook group. I want you to show me a video 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, 12 months from now. And you say to me, hey, Dan, being a high ticket closer changed my fucking life forever. I left my job. I quit my job. I fired my boss and now makes 10K, 20K, 30K a month from home. And I just bought a new car. That's what I want to hear from you. I want to hear your story. Here's Mimi. Welcome all new graduates. Just wanted to say, if you guys do the work and follow the HTC program, there's absolutely no reason why you can't accomplish what you dream of. I'm currently in sunny Orange County, California, standing in front of a $90 million oceanfront houses because of Dan, Kayvon, and Desmond, and the whole HTC team. I'm with a business I love in an industry I'm deeply passionate about. They just flew me to California for a week, all expenses paid, to meet their team and see the culture after working with them part-time for 2 months. If it wasn't for HTC, I would have never found this life-changing opportunity. I remember Kayvon on the phone with me for the first HTC call and asked me what my goal was for 2018. I was first batch, so season 1. So I started HTC November of last year. I told him 6 figures consistently was the goal. And at that time, I had a third baby and was staying home. Me was staying home mom. It was a number that I just came up with and didn't think too much about. 2018 is my 100K year, and I'm very close to 5-figure months already. So proud of her. So much has changed in a few months. I can only imagine what it would be like in 5 years at this pace. Keep working it, everyone. There's enough money and opportunity out there for everyone to live and love generously. I also believe fortune favors the bold. When you take action today, I want to give you a few very powerful bonuses. So for those who get it and take action now, bonus number 1, I'm going to give you my 6 steps to six-figure system. Now, this is one of my most popular and most powerful programs. Hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs have invested $1,995 in this particular system. It has helped more coaches and consultants and service providers and entrepreneurs than any other programs I've ever produced. Now, the reason I want to give you this is twofold. Number 1, if you are in business for yourself, and put in a chat box if you are, if you're an entrepreneur yourself, this program will take whatever you do to a whole new level. It's also a program designed for speakers, coaches, consultants, thought leaders. In fact, when you watch the program, you see 200 of them in a room that was training them. Why? Because as a closer, those are the clients that you'll be working with. Those are the people that you'll be closing sales for if you don't have your own product and service. And you don't need, let me emphasize this, you don't need your own products and services. You are closing other people's high ticket offers, not selling you, you're selling them. I want you to go through this because I want you to get how they think. Because those are the clients you'll be working with. Those are the clients you'll be closing sales for. Does that make sense? So click on the button below right now and take action. Bonus number 2, you'll also get recordings of actual role plays and sales calls. This is easily a $5,000 worth of value. In fact, I believe this bonus alone is easily worth the investment of the entire program. Because how do those calls sound like? How do you close that $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $25,000 sales in a one phone call, in 30 minutes, in 45 minutes? I believe the best way for you to learn is to be kind of fly on the wall, and you listen in and you listen to these recordings. How do we ask questions? How do we lead the prospects to the sale? How do we qualify them? By listening to these actual recordings, you will see how that is done. Here's Eric. This program is really making a difference in my health insurance business. Today alone, I sold 2 clients. One day, 2 clients, and made over $5,000. I have more than double my income this November versus last November. Here's another one of my students. Boom, close a 3.5K private coaching deal 15 minutes ago, 1:30 a.m., working hard, right? Client went ahead regardless of parental objection, as he himself knew how critical it is to step up and go through it. Just another inspiring story for you guys in our big family. Keep on closing. Kenneth, just want to say thank you. I can't say this enough to you guys, to everyone in the family. Because of the training and role plays, I was able to close a deal with a prospect for $1,000. I've been practicing my tonality, the 80-20 rule, actively listening, and just remaining calm. You see, this is not a learning program. This is an implementation program. Not only am I going to teach you skills, I'm going to give you a platform to role play with all the other HTC students from all over the world. So you don't just learn something and you never do anything with it. As you learn it, you train it. I'm going to train you. You're going to drill it. You're going to role play. You're going to practice. And that's how you get good. That's how you get the high income skill. That's how you get to mastery. Bonus number 3. Now, remember that I told you that HTC is different. You see, most people, when they join programs, they learn what to do, but they never do anything. Why is this? Because most people, they join a program and attempt to change their life or their business, but their current environment is not set up to assist that transformation. Their friends and people around them, their family, all doubt them. They speak different languages and they think differently. And when you go against your environment, things are challenging. And most people give up because it's just too hard. I've seen this for myself for many, many years. So I could see this, and that's why I created this community. So bonus number 3, you'll get lifetime access. Listen to me. Remember, not just 1 week, 3 weeks, 7 week. No, lifetime access to a private Facebook group with not just the supportive family that we have from all over the world for our HTC family, but also with the latest high-ticket sales opportunities and engagements. You need to be in a community that speaks the same language as you. You need to have people around you that are on the same life mission as you. This is so critical, right? This is what makes it work, your environment. And I always believe that your environment is more powerful than your willpower. If you want change to happen, you need to be in an environment that supports it, right? You need to be around people that build you up instead of break you down. And this is exactly why we built the HTC family. It's hard to change your life when you're surrounded by the people you've always been with. Let's face it. And our students join a worldwide movement, a global movement, a worldwide community of people on the same path, so that dreams aren't laughed at, but achieved on a daily basis. On a daily basis. You will not believe the minute that you log into our Facebook group, you will be shocked. You've never seen people that are positive, that are supportive, that want you to succeed. more so than even people around you. Unless you're in the Facebook group, you have no idea what that is like. He's one of my students. Hey, CC fam, I want to share the recent win with you all. I've started closing for a new influencer as of this week. So far, I've had 2 sales calls and I've managed to get 2 booms. The coaching program is a 10K offer. My confidence is growing after each call, and I'm truly experiencing being in flow at the moment. It is an amazing experience because while in that state, I found that within the first 3 to 5 seconds of the call, I built such strong rapport with the prospect that the deal is already more than halfway close. Imagine you have the ability to establish rapport in the first 3 to 5 seconds with a prospect. How would that change your business? How would that change your life? So we're talking about total value, including the bonuses, $77,000 worth of value. Click on the link below. Click on the button below right now and apply to be a certified high ticket closer. Go ahead and do that. Now you might be saying, Dan, I'm completely broke. Can you train me now and can I pay you back later? The answer is no. The reason I want you to invest first because it filters out the wannabes. It separates the man from the boy. It separates the woman from the girl. When there's no skin in the game, there's no game. I know when you put some money on the line, you give your 100%, you're going to show up to class. I know whatever you pay attention. To me, if you don't want this bad enough to do whatever you could to figure things out and be resourceful, invest a couple grand to learn from me personally, then I really don't want you on my team because it shows me you lack of it's not never lack of resources. It's always a lack of resourcefulness. And if you know anything about me, you would know I don't look at this as just a money getting opportunity. As you already know, I don't need the money. I will take the money, but I don't need the money. It doesn't matter if every single person on this training right now click on the button and go to the website and join XTC. It won't make a financial difference to me. That $2,500, not one bit, none. It's not going to change my fucking life. But I'm absolutely certain it's going to change yours. Here's Dave Simpson. What a week. Brought 3 new people onto my team and closed $35,000 in business at a 35 commission rate. Here's Christina. Good morning, CC Boom. I received my yearly account analysis for July. Did not do as well as other months, but I'm still ahead of the game. Boom. I also drove 2 hours away from home to do a 2-hour consultation with Dr. Allison about a new nonprofit she wants to be created. She thought she was going to call it I Wonder, but the name was taken, so we're doing it I Shall Be Foundation. The additional $1,000 on the check is for my driving time, $250 per hour. Boom. Check this out. Let's recap. XTC insurance commissions since taking XTC, $91,487.53. Add to these my own influencer package created at $5K each. I have done 8 nonprofits at $5,000 a pop, $40,000 plus my consulting gigs and other commissions, $10,000 and $10,100. So to calculate what I've made since XTC, $91,000, $487.53 plus $40,000 plus $10,000, $141,587.53 in 4 months. In 4 months. So now you have a choice. You can take the information that I've given you and forget all about it and stay stuck where you are. Then life stays the same. You keep chasing the next shiny object. You keep buying the next course. You keep reading those stupid ebooks. You keep going to another seminar. You attend the next webinar and you chase the next thing and the next thing, wasting your life and hoping that someday your life will be different. Or you make a different decision today. You click on that button and you take action. It become a high ticket closer. Then life will never be the same. What if you join an entirely new industry that's on the boom in sales and no one knows about it? What if you can sell service that needs to be sold, that pays 1,000, 2,000 or so commission per sale? What if I told you warm inbound leads would be provided? You only need to close 5 to 10 sales, a couple per week, to make 6 figures a year. What if I told you there's virtually zero competition? What if there was no experience or credibility required because you're not selling you, you're selling other people's high ticket offers? What if you could also do this and work from anywhere in the world? We now have students in over 100 countries. No office or sales floor needed. What if there was also zero paperwork to be filled out? What if you could be your own boss, work your own hours, live life on your own terms, and make as much of money as you want? What if you could make big money, even if you start off doing it just in your spare time on the side? What if you get to work alongside with me, being mentored by me personally, and work alongside with me, Kayvon, and my team? Here's Tom. Damn, the last class has so much value to it. I've been in sales for a long time, and I've been through sales courses before. But what Dan Law and Kayvon did last night was awesome. That training alone was fantastic. And I truly think that the $2,500 was too low after listening. So I only have one last question for you. If not you, then who? And if it's not now, then when? This is your time. You have waited long enough. You have struggled long enough. You have hesitated long enough. Today is the day where you say, you know what, fuck it. Today is the day where you say, I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to make that decision. I'm going to do a career change. I'm going to grow my company. Today is the day where you say that my life is worth it, that my financial future is worth it, that my family's future is worth it, that I am worth it. And from now on, you'll have a high income skill for the rest of your life. And high ticket closer certification program will show you how to do that. So click on the button right now. Join us. Join us on this global movement. And I look forward to seeing you on the other side.
Imagine you can close an $8,000 deal using just one simple technique from the HTC program by Sifu Dan Lok. Hi, I'm Jack Wong. I'm from Singapore and I'm a graduate of batch number 2 of the HTC program. Recently, my client asked, can you prove to me that you have got testimonials to back up what you say is true? So I used Dan Lok's technique that I've learned in HTC program. Situation was turned around. Eventually the clients said yes to me and therefore the deal is closed. There's 8,000 Singaporean dollars in my pocket as a direct result of using just one simple technique that I learned from Sifu Dan Lok. It's amazing, it's fantastic. I didn't know that worked until I actually make it happen. So thanks again, Sifu. Good job, and it's so marvelous to get to know you.
Hi, my name is James Styler, and I have been learning and applying the high ticket closing methodologies taught by Dan Lok into my own business. And what it has done for me is it has basically taken the level of stress in the whole process of closing and selling, and it has just made the whole process of closing a lot more easier, freer, And it's just added an entire new dance and a flow to the whole process. And really what that's looked like, sort of as an end result, is it's helped me to double my closing ratio from 30 to 40% to 75%, which feels really darn good. Not only that, but it helped me to sell a bunch of cars with a lot more grace and ease, and my commission check as a result was $7,500. So if you're thinking about taking this course and learning a high-ticket skill, which I highly recommend you do, because a high-ticket skill is only going to increase the quality and quantity of your life anywhere on planet Earth. So if you're thinking about it, all I have to say is just do it.
But with the HTC program, there's like no doubt in my mind of the value and things that have transcribed in here, and I know that the things that people could get from this program is like astronomical. So with that said, I'm going to also apply these skills that I've learned to try to get my own clients, aside from Dan's opportunities and aside from the other things that have presented itself. And on top of that, I've already applied the HTC skills to my business. So even, it doesn't matter what happens, I'm able to take this right to my agency and start implementing it right away. Instead of, like I said, don't wait for things to happen. You gotta grab life by the horns and get going. And the HTC program gives you the skills and the tools that you need to make that happen and make things come to fruition, and having a better quality approach to your success. And if I was to look at my life 12 months from now, I would love to be back working on the business for several months by this point. The business is doing well, the agency is growing, I'm doing high ticket sales, and I've brought in a partner. I already have a partner for my business, but I would love to make that partner more of the owner and nitty gritty of things with the agency, and then just send me out to do all the sales calls. Have me manage the team and do the things that I got to do to make sure that agency becomes successful.
Hey Desmond and everybody, it's Mark Logan here, just giving you an update on my status with my high income skill that I learned from HTC. And so far, right now, I have closed over $60,000 in sales. And I've also closed some joint venture partners, closed some extended contracts for some clients of mine. And it's just been absolutely unreal to this point. It was February, the beginning of February, when I started closing. And, now we're only halfway through April and already at this point. So, completely mind-blowing across the board. And I'm excited for new contracts that I have coming up for influencers and to start closing some even bigger deals on the phone, some up to $25,000 and I think $30,000 as well. So that's going to be really exciting. So as always, I appreciate the support. Hope everybody continues to do well, and as usual, be great.
And looking back at the transformation going through this program and moving forward, it's absolutely incredible. It really exposed me to a lot of the limiting beliefs that have been holding me back around wealth and abundance. And as far as the actual skill of high-ticket closing, it really showed me how many opportunities are around us everywhere. All of us, it's absolutely incredible, really eye-opening. And then as far as specifics, my communication skills and my level of confidence, my ability to speak with conviction, my ability to influence those around me in a very positive way has just exponentially grown literally every week. My relationship with my parents now has just skyrocketed, and it is far beyond anything I could have ever asked for or imagined. Same thing with a lot of my friends. And going back to the actual skill of closing, I graduated 1 week ago, and I've had so many calls and so many opportunities are coming up. And it's just crazy to see now that it only takes one partnership as well to absolutely change your life. So now when I look forward 12 months, it's just so clear to see that I'm going to be making a six-figure income, if not in 3 months or 4 months, or even sooner. We'll see, but it's just so clear there, and personal development-wise, the amount I've grown and seen everybody else going through this program grow in the span of only 7 weeks is absolutely mind-blowing. So if if I think like a year down the road of where I'll be in my own personal growth, it's I can't even quantify it. You know, this is only the beginning. So one final point for those that might be on the fence about this, or you're unsure if it's worth the money and stuff. You know, I just want to ask you a question. How much longer are you willing to stay in your current situation? Because, you know, I know for myself, I got very comfortable tolerating mediocrity, and that can be a very dangerous place to stay. So, you know, if my words aren't enough, just think about it this way. You know, if Dan even has the smallest chance of influencing you and teaching you this high performance skill that could absolutely enhance the trajectory of your life, I mean, wouldn't that be worth it? And if it is just a money thing, you know, I can tell you from my experience coming out now, you know, you're going to come out of this and right away know how to make that money back, and you know, 10 times that very quickly. So I mean, you know, the decision is really yours, but I would highly recommend enrolling in Dan Locke's HTC program. Finally, thank you, Dan Locke, and your team. You know, what you've given to me has been truly invaluable, and it's again, you know, it's really just the beginning. So yeah, see you guys. Thanks again.
Hi, my name is Susan, and with my new high-ticket closing skills, I have completed sales of over $25,000. In the first 6 weeks following my successful completion of the course, I closed 3 influencers to work with me. I entered into this with no sales skills whatsoever, and I have taken that closing rate of mine and I've tripled it in the initial few short weeks. Because of the training that has been given to me on the abundance mindset, I now see opportunities everywhere. And by applying what I've learned, I now have 3 deals what I'm working on, and they'll close next month. Those 3 deals will provide me with an income of $150,000.
Hi, my name is Tyler Cerny, and I joined the HCC program to master the skill of closing over the phone. Not only that, I joined the HCC community to work with like-minded individuals and Dan Locke himself. What I really liked about this program was the format. 7 weeks, 7 live calls of Dan Locke telling you what it takes to have a high-performing mindset and how to master the high-ticket skill of closing over the phone. Now that I've gone through this course, I'm able to approach CEOs at Fortune 500 companies, influencers, and high net worth individuals and have the conversation of how can I be an asset to your team? How can I provide value? This is an opportunity that I did not have before investing in this program. Now I'm on pace to pay off all my student loans and all my credit card debt. I highly recommend this course, and if you invest the time and energy into what Dan talks about, then you will see a change in your life and your bank account.
Hi everyone, I'm Victoria from Philadelphia, and I am now a high-ticket closer. So, what motivated me to join the high-ticket closer certification program in the first place? Well, first of all, I'm going to backtrack a little bit, but a few months ago, I was honestly completely lost. I had lost focus of my dreams. I had lost focus of my goals. I had lost focus of who I am. And to be completely honest with you, I felt really lost, okay? So I felt so lost like I have not felt before. I remember before going to college, I was a lot more alive, but it's been about 2 or 3 years now since I've graduated university, and I have never felt so lost. I mean, I went into the corporate world. I've been working a couple of jobs, and it's just working that more than 40 hours a week to like 60 hours at times, it can be quite exhausting. So one of the main reasons why I really joined this program is to set myself free. Set myself free and get back my confidence, get back my passion, get back my drive, get back my energy, get back everything that I had when I was younger. And for some reason, I got so sucked into this world that it took it all away from me. And it took it all away from me without me realizing it, and without me realizing that it's draining me.
And this program is going to be the first step in what's going to enable me to help a lot of people, because I'm now helping myself. You know, in 12 months from now, I'm going to be making $20,000 a month consistently using my high-ticket skill set, as well as with that will enable me to have the time, the schedule, and the money to spend more time with my girlfriend, my family, and my friends, which are really the things that are most important to me. Also, I'm going to be able to travel. I'm going to be able to have the lifestyle I want and not be confined to the limitations of a job. If someone was skeptical about this program, I would just say be resourceful. You know, there's so many ways to come up with the money, and making investment in yourself is the best way to, in my opinion, get a return on said investment. I'm already on pace to be getting 5, 10, maybe even 20 times return on my investment alone in this year, which is incredible. I don't know any other program that can do that for you. So really, this program is worth way more than I actually paid for it. Every class was over-delivered in spades. So really, all I have to say to Dan and his team is thank you so much, because you guys, I invested in you and you guys believed in me, and therefore I'm now on pace to have a fantastic year and a fantastic life. Thank you so much, Dan and team.
Hey everyone, William Wong here, graduating from batch 1. And I'm generally not one to brag, but hey, I'm up for a challenge. So here's my results from Dan's teachings so far. So shortly after graduating back in November, I put my HTC skills to the test. I closed my JV partner at the time on refinancing a property that we purchased 5 years ago. We were basically able to pull out our initial down payments and netted just about 22,000 profits each. Then my second big win was actually just beginning of this April. I was able to close a money partner, and basically that netted me a $26,000 check on closing a rent-to-own deal. So 2 things that made this possible for me, these results, I guess you can say. Number 1 is actually really mindset, and of course, you know, the abundance is key as well. Number 2 is actually you know, writing, reviewing, and you know, adjusting your goals on a daily basis actually is a really big thing. And of course, once you start getting these big checks, you don't want to go back, right? And I guess one last thing before I go. The view is different when you lead and your goals are closer than you think.
So I was motivated to join the HTC program because I was invited by my previous mentor, Matt Asifan, social media director, and I start generating results from that. And then he started introducing Dan Locke, which is, I was like, Dan Locke? He sounds familiar. And I said, Dan Locke, yeah, the guy wearing the red suit. So I met Dan back in 2015 in November at a socialite conference. And then I love this guy. So much energy, so much enthusiasm, so much knowledge. And you know that this guy is bar none in terms of delivering content. And that's what I love. And that's what I follow into mentors. And that's why I invest in this kind of people, because they do it passionately with love. And it triggers your emotional feelings plus your logical thinking, which is amazing. So what makes me surprised about HTC is just the community itself. It's phenomenally crazy in a good way. I love the engagement. I love the mentors. Dan, Desmond, Kayvon, crazy energy. It's just like not just hype, but hard truth about life. And this guy went through all of that. This guy's all started from scratch, and that's the best part, being part of HTC. And one time, and we do webinars, we do actually like not an hour, not 2 hours, 3 hours, but almost actually 4 hours passed by already, and still this guy's freaking delivering values. That's insane. And they still have time to do question and answers for people who are questioning, like, of course, a lot of questions, but some at the end of the night, it started 2, 3 a.m. and they're still taking questions. And that's what blows my mind. Like, let's be truth there. I love these guys because they deliver. And they have so much heart, so much passion that puts into this program. So thank you guys. I truly appreciate it. So how Dan impacted my life. First, I met Dan. I still remember the date. That was back in November 2015 when they had a socialite conference. And this guy walked inside the room quietly with a nice red, shining red suit. And it's amazing. Anyway, I still remember what he said, not exactly, but this is what he said. Let your adversity be your strength. Again, he said, let your adversity be your strength. And that means is he talks a story about him from Hong Kong, and then he migrated with his mom. I was born and raised by a single mom. And with that exact same feeling, I felt it from that he is truly, truly sincere in what he said. And I love my mom so much. That means all to me. She means all to me. All of my hard work for all these years that I've been failing and start now for the past 2 years generating souls, it's because for her. I work hard for her because I want her to have a better life. Of course, I have big dreams, but she is one of my why I do what I do. And I thank Dan because of that, because I've seen it in his eyes like an ordinary kid like me before. I think that's 3 years ago when I was young, dumb, and broke, had this chance in life that, you know what, if Dan did it, I could do it. If he succeed, for sure in the near future, I'll make it happen and I'm gonna succeed as well. So that's why after that program, after my certification program with social media director, and Matt introduced Dan, I was like, fuck yeah, let's work together. I love Dan. I've seen him. I watched a ton, most of his videos, especially TEDx, about self-reflection. It was freaking amazing. I love Dan. That's why I joined the program. And with this high income skill that I've learned with the HTC family, I believe for the next 12 months, I didn't lay out all the things. I don't know. It's just the universe is so beautiful and so much gratefulness and thankfulness that I have been being grateful, gratitude, that I pray to God, hey, please, if this is for me and if this works, I'll do whatever it takes. And it did happen. And now I'm at a point of stage of 2018 that I want to take it to the next level. I want to step out of my comfort zone and take people with me on whatever program I get into or whatever program that I develop, which is I have right now. So far, I got almost 159 people sign up in this program, and all I need to do is just deliver the content, making sure that they're well taken care of. And 12 months from now, income, it's amazing. My goal is to reach $500,000 by next year. That's my goal. And this year I've reached that point on 6 figures and then invested a lot, especially on ads and stuff. I'm still working on that process, working on my accounting side. But I do believe in myself. If I push a little bit harder, realistically, I'll reach $500,000 by next year. And then a year after that, $1 million. And I love to hit that goal. It gives me shivers. It's not because of the money. It's because of the reflection of why I actually contributed to the community and society. And if they change their lives, that means I'm doing something right. And that's why I've been paid for the price. And not only that, I have much more bigger opportunities in my mind, especially investing on cryptocurrencies, which is my transition from being an affiliate marketer to being a socialist or something like a pioneer on cryptocurrency or whatever it is. I know I'll get there for sure, because this is me 2 years ago telling I don't know what to do, but I got it. Now I'm telling this that I want to specifically what I want, and I'll get there. I'll make it happen for sure. If I could be the one to ask and close them or educate them and say, hey, if you went to school, how many years did you invested in already? When you understand that you go to school, you go to university, pay the tuition fees to get a job and get that salary, and not knowing that you need to still pay that debt, right? And how many more years are you willing to invest in order to accumulate that money and pay your debt? And then when will it be the time that you're gonna start raking that money, because it's your hard working money that doesn't need to be paid anywhere. In this program, you can work wherever you want, whenever you want, with who you want, and the income possibilities is through the roof. Sky is the limit. As long as you put the hard work, you follow the system, and you take massive action in making it work ethically, legitimately. Because that's the only way for you to make that specific amount of figures that you want to make. And the best part about it is this: it doesn't require any technical experience. Okay, no special skills or knowledge. All you need to do is just plug in yourself, be open-minded, and learn from the best of the best. Because why? You're learning from the guy who started from scratch and made a multi-million-dollar. You should give all of your ears to this person. And the best part is, the last best part is, you understand, you're excited, you are here, you're listening, because you know, you understand that you deserve much more better in life. And that's all I can say to you. Price doesn't matter. It's not about I can't, it's about how you can afford it. And that's me 2 years ago. I told myself, Matt, I only have $1,000 in my bank account. How can I get started? I just dove in. And the first 2 weeks, I got it back right away because I took action, because I followed the system, because I believe in mentor, that I know it works. And that's all, whatever it takes. Just follow, do it, take action, and you'll see yourself 2, 3 months, 6 months, a year from now, or keep going. Regardless, I don't know what you do or how you're gonna put your work or effort. But if you take action and do what your mentor says, you'll get there.
Hi, my name is Philip, and I've recently completed Dan Locke's High Ticket Closer program. Now, over the past 7 weeks, I've gone through a transformation greater than I would have ever anticipated. I've evolved my physical, my mental, and my emotional approach to closing sales. I've been blown away by the value Dan, Kayvon, and Desmond have delivered, and the genuine care they've had for our success. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced. The level of participation required in this course has been substantial, I'm not going to lie about that. But we've been held accountable by Dan, the HTC family community, and most importantly, by ourselves. I have studied many sales tactics, courses, and listened to so many gurus in the past. And I have to say, HTC has been unlike anything I've ever come across. It has literally given me the ammunition I needed to cement my high income skill of closing sales. Now in the next 12 months, I have plans to transition to just working as a high ticket closer, as this has developed not only into a skill I've learned, but a passion to help people and obviously make great money while doing so. So if you're thinking whether this course is right for you, then stop thinking and start acting, because thinking is not a business plan, and there is no business in the world that won't benefit from closing more sales. So I guarantee you, this will be unlike any sales course you've ever seen, because this is not a course for salespeople, but a course for sales closers.
Hi, my name is Mauricio Tolero. I'm 21 years of age and I'm from Perth, Western Australia. So a little bit about myself. I graduated from university last year, and upon graduation I kind of felt lost. Just like most people in my position, once you graduate, you don't know what to do next, and the next sensible thing that most people say is to get a 9-to-5 job and work with what you graduated, which kind of makes sense, but I knew I didn't want to get a 9-to-5 job. I don't want to work for somebody else, and I kind of want to make my own life, if that makes sense. And so after realizing this, I took a year off and I decided to do bartending, while also looking at some online money making opportunities that I briefly heard of. But anyway, I did affiliate marketing, I did MLM, and I did importing from China. Now, I didn't find any success in all of these ventures, unfortunately, but that's okay. And I never really had any passion for any of these things, but it's always good to try different new things and be open-minded. I ended up stumbling across Dan's program, so it's high ticket closing program that I've just gone through. And this was during at work, so I listened in while working, and as soon as the webinar ended, I knew this was something I wanted to do. I literally had to, go to a corner and hide while at work, and I bought it right there on the spot. And I think I had about $40 left in my bank account. But I saw the value, and I knew this was something that I had to invest in myself and purchase. So the three main things that really stood out for me as to why I bought it is because, number one, you're learning a high income skill, which in the market there's high demand for, right? So number two, you work with high quality entrepreneurs. And number three, Dan Lok himself has 2 hours scheduled per week for 7 weeks to be helping you live, right? This is nothing like I've ever experienced, because most programs, I'm sure most can resonate with this, is that you get video after video after video, and there's no real student mentor connection, right? But this program provided that. So I was like, yeah, for sure, I'm in. So of course I bought it on the spot. And I kind of feel like I ripped Dan off. I mean, it was incredible, everything that we've gone through, and Dan really over-delivered. I feel like he gave it his all, and I learned not only about the content, not only about how to do high-ticket selling, but also about the mindset. And I've seen this transformation in myself. I broke past old procrastination habits, and that was a really big one for me, because like I'm sure a lot can resonate, is that you go on Facebook or on Instagram, you get distracted. I mean, that would happen with me in university. I get distracted because I didn't want to do any of these things. But with this program, it all changed. I've loved it ever since I started it, and I'm actually look forward every week. I look forward to the lessons. Unfortunately, it's finished for now, but we'll see what happens. And I know I'll keep the relationship going with the whole Facebook group and Dan Lok and all his mentees, because I mean, everything they've done for us has been invaluable. Dan and his mentees would actually go on the Facebook posts that we post and comment on it themselves, and they'd actually bring up any issues we had in the webinar, as well as any aha moments people had. And that was it was a great insight. It was so many gold nuggets everywhere. So that's why I feel like I ripped Dan off, because of how much I got and how much I've changed in my life. I'm much more productive, and I've got intent when I'm doing things. It's not mindless, right? I'm more efficient with what I do, and I know from now onwards I'm a changed man, and I have Dan to thank for that. Now, this was my experience, and I hope this helps you come to a decision, because I'm sure many of you are sitting on the fence not knowing what to do. Now, my advice to you, Dan left the door, he left the damn door open, right? He's leaving it open for a short period of time. Get in, run through the door, get into the program, because I'm so glad I did. And if you get the same transformation that I did, I know you're gonna love it. Now, I just want to finish off with, thank you, Sifu Dan.
Hi, my name is Kayvon, and the media also knows me as the one-call closer, and this is my story. About a year ago, I was leaving my corporate job. I was sick of the 9-to-5 working hours. I was sick of always feeling like I was a slave to the hours, a slave to my job, and I was never building something I wanted. I never had the freedom to be able to build my dream. I felt like I was always building someone else's dream. So at 30 years old, I had to make a big decision. I had to leave my corporate job. My friends, my parents, everyone around me thought I was just absolutely crazy. They thought I lost it. But I just knew that there was something more. I just knew that I wanted more and that I deserved more, but I didn't know what to do. So I left the job. I jumped right into the internet marketing world. I tried everything. When I mean everything, I tried the drop shipping, I tried the e-commerce, I tried the affiliate marketing, I tried the coaching, the consulting, the services, the software. I mean, I had tried it all. And I was just fail after fail after fail. All these gurus promising the world, and it just, nothing really ever came out of it. Except a year later, I found myself $120,000 in debt. I maxed out 3 lines of credit, credit cards. I had to sell my house. I had to sell my possessions. I wiped out all my stock just trying to make my dream happen with no direction. And it was bad. I mean, I just think about it and the fear. I had no confidence in myself. I couldn't even wake up in the morning because I was just scared and ashamed. And I couldn't even stand the face I saw in the mirror. But I couldn't sleep at night because I had so much worry and so much pain. It was bad. It got so bad, I didn't even know if I was going to be able to pay rent. I had to go and find money from the one place I promised myself I never would go. My parents, my dead broke parents. I had to ask them to take money off the mortgage that they can't even afford so I can pay rent. I'm talking, I was broke, I was broken, I had no hope. And one night, I just had it. I went online and I just put in online entrepreneur, online mentor, and Dan Locke showed up. Now let me tell you, I seen Dan Locke a year before that at one of his TEDx talks. I was sitting in the crowd. He comes on stage with this red suit, acting all Dan Locke style, and I thought to myself, this guy's crazy. Not only that, I'm going to outsell that guy. I'm going to beat that guy. He doesn't even know who Kayvon is. Well, isn't that funny? A year later, I'm asking to be mentored by that same guy. And literally, the moment Dan Locke showed me the way, he opened his doors for me. Within 1 month, he showed me the art of high ticket selling. He showed me the art of high ticket closing. And within 1 month, my business went from losing $25,000. Can you imagine spending $25,000 on a monthly consistent basis without earning a penny just because you believe and everyone's telling you what to do, to earning $25,000 and having no expenses? Listen, I have a business that was losing $25,000. Now I have a business that's doing well over $25,000 with very to no expenses. And that's all because Dan Locke showed me the secret to the art of high ticket closing. He showed me how to build a business around that. He showed me how to build my brand around that. And it was the best thing that's ever happened to me. I learned more in 1 month than I paid $120,000 of trying to learn in a whole year. I now live a life where I always dreamed was possible, but I'm actually turned this dream into my reality. My relationships with everyone around me have gotten stronger. My relationship with my significant other has gotten better. My relationship with my parents, everything. My relationship ultimately with myself. My confidence is higher. I have fear. I don't have fear. I live like a champion, I feel, every day. I'm so grateful. This is what this provided me. The opportunity, the art of high ticket closing, the art of high ticket selling, the idea that Dan had showed me and gave me what I knew was possible, but he made it and gave me it so it became my reality. And the only thing I can think back on is I wish I would have met maybe Dan Locke a little earlier, but even then I just say the best decision I made was hiring Dan, getting that mentor to show me the way.
Hey, this is Ed. I just wanted to tell you that the HTC program has been probably the most profound program I've ever taken in my whole life. I was surrounded by hundreds of amazing, inspiring, and honest and ambitious people that I normally wouldn't have had if I had gone to school or gone to learn from any other program. This isn't the kind of program that you get sent a link and it's a certificate program. You get sent a link and you watch a video, couple videos, and they're pre-recorded, and then that's it. But this is immersive. For me, this has been a life-changing experience for me. I've spent thousands of dollars on tons of different programs from all types of gurus, everyone, you name it. But for me, this program has been life-changing. It's been different for me. I've learned so much more about myself than I ever thought I would ever understand about anything. And the changes that I've started to see in myself, in my family, and in my personal life have just been immense. And I'm extremely grateful to Dan. If you're watching this, thank you so much for changing my life. I know we've just barely started working together, and you've just started mentoring me from this program, and I just want to let you know I really, really, truly appreciate you and everything you've done for me. For anyone who is actually skeptical about this program, and anyone who thinks the price may be too much, or you don't have the money right now, trust me, the money will come. You don't get an opportunity like this once in a while, like very often. I'm a copywriter. I used to do $500 deals, and I had such a hard time closing them. And the clients, they would never respect me. They would treat me like, and I would work hard hours, and they would never really truly treat me like a professional. But literally about a week or two, maybe even 3 or 4 weeks into Dan's program, the high ticket closing program, I closed my first $1,000 deal, and then another $1,000, and then a $1,500 a month with 5% revenue share. Now, if you can pull those results out of anyone else's program, please let me know. I would love to join that. But from my experience, I haven't seen anything like that yet. Not only has my life changed, I've also met hundreds of amazing and ambitious and inspiring people, like I said, and I'm friends with those people for life now. Those are real life connections, real life people who I am friends with, who have inspired me to become a better person. Inside the program, there's so much immersion and accountability that you don't get anywhere else. Having that really allowed me to succeed more and succeed faster, because I knew that if I wasn't doing the homework and I wasn't really pushing myself to succeed, not only would I let myself down, but I would let everyone else down around me. And there's over, I believe in my class, about 280 people. And I would let down every single one of them. Not to mention Dan and his amazing team. So I knew that I had to become successful, not only for me, not only for my family, but for my new friends and for my new future. After the first 2 months, I already doubled my investment back. And I'm confident that if you listen to Dan, you do his teachings, you listen to Kayvon, you listen to everyone else in Dan's team, you can too. So please, for the sake of yourself, for the sake of your future, invest in this program. It's one of the best things that's ever happened to me, and I'm damn sure it will be the best thing that's ever happened to you too.
My name is Darius Rivera, and I am a high-ticket closer. Now, I was first introduced to Dan Locke's program through a webinar. It was actually when I had just moved to Fort Lee, Virginia, because I was starting my career as a second lieutenant in the U.S. Army. Now, I didn't have income yet because I wasn't in the pay system, because I had just started active duty, and that takes a little while. So I went into this webinar, and I wasn't sure if I was really going to spend money or what was going to happen, because I didn't have much money at all. I only had about $500 maybe in my bank account. But as I heard Dan speak, word after word, I just felt myself wanting financial success more and more and more and more. That burning desire just got hotter and hotter. Now, once I heard the price, I was saying to myself that I have to find a way to afford this. I have to. I didn't have the funds in my bank account, so I started calling banks, looking up things online, trying to find out how I can get a loan, a line of credit. I didn't have a credit card, so I couldn't use that. And I really didn't have much of a credit history, so I wasn't getting approved for anything. Now, I kind of just gave up and said, there's no way I can do this. I can't even ask somebody close to me to lend me money, because everybody I know is struggling financially. Now, a couple days later, I actually got an email that said that the webinar was gonna happen again. This hit me like a sign, and I was like, I have to find a way to be able to afford this. And so fortunately, my father had just gave me money that day in order to help me get on my feet, because I wasn't getting any income, to help me get some food, household essential items, things like that. And what he gave me, it provided enough for me to provide that initial payment for the 3-month payment plan. So I watched that second webinar and I bought the program. I was terrified and excited at the same time. Now, why did I do this? So I grew up in the Bronx, which is one of the 5 boroughs in New York City. And I was constantly surrounded by financial struggle. My family, my friends, their families, strangers on the street, you could just see it and you could feel it. Everybody's worrying about how they're gonna get food on the plate that night, how they're gonna pay their bills that month. And I did not want that. I did not want that to be me at all. Also, unfortunately, my mom and grandma are currently still struggling financially, more so than they were when they raised me. And I want to be able to write them a check for $5,000, $10,000, give it right to them, and have the confidence to make that right back. I also want to surround myself and be immersed with people who are more successful than I am in order to build myself up and make me become more successful and give me the drive and motivation to want to be more successful. I also want to be a motivational speaker and a life coach within the next 10 to 15 years. And so I want to use these skills as my foundation to build upon, and also use these skills to apply in more of an influence setting in order to influence those that I coach and speak to. Now, prior to this program, I never really invested this much amount of money in improving my income. There was only one other thing I tried prior to this, and it was pretty much just a jumbled amount of information shot at you like a fire hose. And since I'm a beginner, I didn't really know what to do with all that information, and so it didn't really work out for me. However, this program, it offers community, it offers mentorship, so any questions you have can and will be answered. It offers that information piece, of course. It offers mindset training to get rid of negative associations with money. It offers a foundation to build upon. So you learn that mindset, then you learn the skills, then you learn how to implement the skills. And it offers support, like I said, that community. There's a high ticket closer family, and we all share our success stories, share our past stories, and we cheer each other on to do better and better each and every day. Now, one thing that really surprised me about this program, it is very step-by-step oriented. Crawl, walk, run. They teach you the basics and they build upon that. So somebody like a beginner, like me, you can jump right in it and you're not gonna fall behind or feel like you're surrounded by people much more advanced than you and you're gonna feel like you can't do it. That doesn't happen. It's built so it can work for beginners and work for those who are advanced. Now Dan Locke, he lit a fire inside of me that made my ambition for financial success bigger than it ever has been in my entire life. He also showed me that it is possible. It's possible. You hear Dan's story, you hear Kayvon's story, some of the classmates, you hear all their stories, and you think to yourself, I've never gone through anything like that, but here I am where they are now. Here I am becoming a high ticket closer. So they show you that it's possible and that you can do it. Within the next 12 months, I see myself having a 6-figure income with my Army paycheck and my high ticket closing commissions combined. I also see myself as being a much more influential person and applying those influence skills in my closing abilities, of course, but also in my leadership roles in the Army. I also see myself having an increased desire and willingness to invest in myself, because seeing the results that I've gotten and seeing the more results that I'm going to get, I know that I'm going to want to invest in myself more, especially since I'll have the financial means to do so. For those of you that are unsure about whether or not you should invest in this program, and if the price scares anybody, or if you think you can't afford it, just go back to the story I said at the beginning of this video. You have to find a way to afford it. I didn't have a credit card. I don't have credit history, so I couldn't really get even a loan or a line of credit. But if you want it bad enough and you have that commitment, you have to find a way to afford it. Because if you do find a way to afford it and you go through the program, you might even find yourself making that money back before you finish the program. Because there are people within the high ticket closing family that I've seen that they've made that money back already. And if you don't make it back during the 7-week program, I assure that you'll make it back afterwards. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Kayvon. And thank you, Desmond, for helping me and giving me the tools to be and to become a high-ticket closer.
Hi, I'm Chris, and I'm a graduate of Dan's High Ticket Closer program. Now, I entered this training looking for a vehicle to freedom, looking for a way to establish myself and provide for myself financially, a way to help myself and others. Now, I've joined some programs in the past, but none have really been like Dan's. There's something special to be said about Dan's program. Dan takes his program very seriously, and him and his team put a very sincere and personal touch into every part of the program. There's even a Facebook group where members of the program are there to encourage each other and support each other, and Dan and his team are also there to give comments, to give support, and to give feedback. And honestly, that's what surprised me the most about Dan's program. I've been in other programs before, and that definitely wasn't the case. Now, there's something special to be said about Dan too. You know, Dan has had several impacts on my life, not only in my ability to sell and close over the phone, but just in aspects of my life I didn't expect to get a benefit from. I'm talking my relationships with my family members and with my friends have been better. My methods of interacting with others and communicating what I want to communicate have all changed, and as a result, things in my life have gotten better. People respect me more, and I feel more confident. Now, I'm looking forward to the future after going through Dan's program. I see great things happening to me for the next 12 months of my life. You know, just tomorrow I have a call booked with an influencer who can help me make 15 to 10K per month just by closing the program. And I really look forward to the future and what it has to hold. Now, if the investment for the program is a stretch for you, I want to share you a bit of my story. Dan's program, the investment for Dan's program was more than just a stretch for me. I didn't have enough money for the program when I first saw it. I saw the value of Dan's program and I really wanted it to work. I wanted it to work for me and I wanted to get into it, but I just didn't have the funds. So I made it happen. I found what needed to be done, and I did it. I picked up another job. I started selling some of my belongings, and at the end, I got into Dan's program. And I look forward for the future and my ability to make 10 to 15K per month. Now, I'm not suggesting you do this, yet I'm just letting you know what's possible. Now, regardless of if you choose to enter the program or not, that's fine, but I wish you the best.
What's up, my HTC family? What's up, Dan? What's up, Kayvon? What's up, Desmond? Yes, I am ready to rock. I am so happy that I can have this opportunity to be able to share my experience and share with you my feelings about the HTC program. It is without a shadow of a doubt one of the best decisions I have ever made in my life. But before I even get to share my experience, I gotta say a heartfelt, a humongous, as sincere as possible can be, thank you to Dan Locke. Thank you to Kayvon K. Thank you to Desmond Soon. Thank you to the rest of the HTC family and the rest of the HTC team. This has been a momentous paradigm shift in my life, which is going to be fruitful in so many ways. And I just don't mean financially. It is gonna bless me in so many ways that I am just so excited about it. I'm trying to contain my excitement right now, because I want to just yell and scream at the actual camera and jump through the camera and tell you how excited I am. I'm going to contain that for now. I'm going to try to make sure that I don't go too long and I don't make an hour-long video. But again, thank you, Kayvon. Thank you, Desmond. Thank you, Dan Locke. And thank you, the rest of the HTC team. It is truly appreciated. Now that I got my thank yous out of the way, even though I can't thank you guys enough, I still want to keep on thanking you. I just want to make a 20-minute video of just me saying thanks to you guys. But I would like to, maybe answer a few questions to help you get a better understanding of what I got out of this course. So kind of the first thing I would like to answer would be what motivated me to, even join up and sign this course. I gotta be honest with you. The first motivation that I had for this course was that I just wanted to make some money. I just wanted to make a lot of money. Because I know if I can make a lot of money, I could use that money to do things and help people in ways that they weren't able to help themselves. I wanted to give back. I really don't need that much money for myself. I'm not one of those individuals who just want to live the life of the rich and famous. I'm satisfied with very little because I'm a very, very grateful person. But that was my main motivation for signing up for this course. And as the course went on, I realized that my motivation was misplaced. I realized that this course, from the very first seminar, from the very first webinar that we had, this course is not just about making you money. It gets to the root of the problem, which is your paradigm, your mindset, and your conditioning. It fixes that first before it does anything else. And that's what really makes this course different. Because the next question is, how is this course different than any other program I've ever been in? I've done a lot of online training for, information technology type stuff, web development, web design. I've done a lot of those courses. And a lot of those courses teach you some great skills. They were valuable courses, and I still reference them every once in a while whenever I'm doing some web development or I'm doing some web design. But what those programs lacked, every single one of them, and I have over 50, I've invested in over 50 of them, but every single one of them lacked the ability to change your mindset to be able to think like an actual programmer. That's what was lacking. This program, what makes it different is that it is not lacking that. That's the very first thing it starts with. It starts with the mindset. It starts with breaking all your old conditioning. It starts with making sure that you understand that no matter what skill you have, it's not going to mean jack squat if you go into it and try to apply those skills with your old mental conditioning. The next question I want to address would be, what surprised me most about the High Ticket Closer program? It was the fact that in a short 7 weeks, it could totally change a person's life, and I'm living proof of that. If you would have asked me, before I started the course, is this course going to change my life? I'm like, yeah, it's going to make me some more money, but I'm still going to be the same person. Wrong. Wrong. I'm here to tell you right now that this course has changed me for the better. I didn't even go into this course looking to be changed or thinking that I needed to change. This course exposed my weak spots. This course exposed my habitual patterns that have kept me living a mediocre life. This course was eye-opening. And to kind of sum it up, I would just say it flipped the switch. I was living in the dark, hopped into this course, and next thing I know, click, the switch was flipped. Dan's kind of impacted me in a very, very profound way. And that's to the core of my being. That's how Dan has affected me with what he teaches and how he mentors his students. And what I mean that he's affected me to the core of my being is the fact that he shook all that old pattern, all that old conditioning that I received from everybody in my life, from parents to teachers to coaches to friends to business colleagues and work colleagues. He took all that, shook all that old conditioning off. He's like, all right, now that I got you dusted off, let's go ahead and start you with a new sheet of paper. Let's go ahead and start you brand new. Let's go ahead and build you up to where you need to be so that way you can experience what you want to experience and live the life that you want to live. That's how Dan has affected me in a profound way. With this new high income skill, you guys ask, where do I see myself in 12 months? On my vision board. I have printed off the check from The Secret, the movie or the book, The Secret, that universal check. And on it, I have written the date of January 31st, 2018, and for the amount of $100,000. Before, I would have not even thought that $100,000 in 1 month is even possible. I would have thought, all right, let's think a little more realistically, and let's think that, $10,000 is probably going to be your starting limit. No, $100,000 is realistic within a month. And I will, not intend, but I will, and I'm going to make $100,000 by January 31st of 2018. That's what this course has done for me. It's helped me realize my true potential. Not the potential that everybody else says I can actually achieve, but my true potential. The last question I kind of want to address is, if someone was skeptical about this program, or somebody said the money was a little bit, too much, or was a bit of a stretch for them, here's what I would say to that person. I would tell them, listen, what you've done for the last however many years of your adult life has ended you up right here in this spot. Whether you like it, whether you don't like it, it doesn't matter, but it's ended you up here in this spot. And there's a reason for that. And that reason is because you want to change. You know something deep down inside needs to change within you for you to continue to grow. So any doubt that you have is just your old conditioning telling you, hey, come back here. It's comfortable back here. He doesn't want you to grow. I say step forward, put the commitment in yourself, and understand that now it's time to grow. If you think the money is too much of an issue, think resourcefulness and not resources. Think about how you can pay for this program, not how you're going to pay for this program. Because if you want it bad enough, and this truly means something to you, and this truly is the way that you're going to change your life, and stop sitting on your hands, get off your ass and do it. That's what I would say to somebody who was skeptical, or to somebody who felt like that the money was just a little bit too much. Again, Dan, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Kayvon, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really can't express how much that phone call has changed the rest of my life. And thank you to Desmond. All three of you guys are upstanding gentlemen. I wish many blessings upon you. And I wish many blessings upon your business adventures and your business endeavors. And I wish many blessings upon your family as well. Take care. And again, I love this HTC family. I love the HTC team. I love the HTC mentors. Thanks again, guys. God bless.
What a fantastic program. High ticket closing program. Oh, just brilliant. What I'd like to say first and foremost is that It's Gary Wilson here. I'm from the UK. I've been in direct sales all my life, Dan. I'm in my mid-60s now. Sales is my life. I've made my fortune by direct sales and closing sales. And I joined the program because in my conversation with Kayvon, I'm intending to spend a lot more time at my home in Spain, and I want another business online. I've run my business traditionally offline in the home improvements in the UK, and I've been very, very fortunate, and I'm a lucky man, Dan. I'm a lucky man, Kayvon. Kayvon, the one call closer, that's what you call yourself, and a lot of respect for you, and a lot of respect for you, Dan. I watched you on video for a long time, Dan. I knew you were a mentee of Dan Pena. I've got all of Dan Pena's materials. I've never been to a Castle seminar myself, but I've got all of his materials and I've devoured them over the years. And sales, as I say, Dan, sales is my life. I love selling. I've studied J. Douglas Edwards, Tom Hopkins, Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy, all the top salespeople, and I joined you because you are offering a high-ticket closing program, and you offered it in a different way. I was open-minded. I hope I'm always open-minded, and I have to say this to you, the pair of you, Dan and Kayvon. You've took me to a new level because you've taught me things which an old man like me, is still willing to learn. And you've took me to a new level. Recently I went 7 for 7 in my business for a total of just under £100,000, and that's using your techniques directly, using your mindset, using the way you negative reverse selling, and I've studied and I've adapted it to my own business. But when I talked to Kayvon originally, he said there might be opportunities with yourself. I intend to move to Spain. I'd like to run my business over the telephone, Skype, Zoom, online, and I would love to sell for the pair of you. So here we go. What motivated me to join HTC? I think I've answered that question anyway, Dan. And what surprised me the most about the HTC program, the depth and the understanding and what you actually went into week by week. We're on week 6 now, and the work that we've had to do to study, to change our mindsets into a role playing, into a high ticket closer. Where do I see myself in the next 12 months? I see myself traveling, living in Spain, running a business from my laptop, using Skype, closing people all over the world on your programs, closing people and loving it at the same time, because I just love talking to people who want to achieve more. And that's what you're all about, Dan. I've immersed totally in your videos, and I've immersed totally on saying to myself, I'm all in with the pair of you. And what do I think about the HTC family, the Facebook family that you set up, Dan? It's absolutely wonderful. Everybody has a positive viewpoint and positive intent to try and help people that sometimes aren't up to speed, or they want advice, or they want help. And everybody's behind this program. I'd like to say finally, thank you very much indeed for bringing me to this level. And Dan, Kayvon, all the very best, and I hope that we do business in the future. Thank you.
For me, of course, I had those clients out of Menfluential, and that really started me, with the momentum boost I had. I actually didn't tell Desmond because I was waiting for him in person, but I think the only one I've told is Kayvon, and I told him today. But the day I graduated, I was actually at a show for one of my bass fishing sponsors.
Wow.
And I pushed, in the 3 days I was there, $137,800 worth of product.
Wow. Say that again, how much again?
$137,800 in product.
Wow.
A lot of people here know that story is I was in oil and gas in Alberta.
and I was senior management. I left, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm bragging, but I left $150,000 salary because your words affected me, not just about the financial freedom, but the financial confidence. You know, I learned a lot to get myself to where I was, and then I listened to your webinar and I said there is more out there. And with my background, I know I can do more. And to leave that safety, I just left my job 2 weeks ago. And thank you for that, for making me believe in myself, making all of us believe in that. You are a powerful man, and in your words, in everything, and I can't tell you how much it's affected me to actually leave such a higher status job already.
Yeah. So Kenny, I spoke to Jason today, and personally, we're talking in the back room, right, in the green room. Yeah. And he said that you're one of his best closers, and he's really proud of you.
Enjoying it with you guys, it was like a different world for me. For us, it was like I was trying to. We had to work hard work. We never had like the privilege of sitting down here, just enjoying it. Being with everyone here. And I thank you for that, Dan. Because it's telling me, okay, I have greatness in me that I can be able to go out and instead of just working hard and just physical, I can actually be using my head, my mentality, and my passion and become the skill that gave us a tool to be able to go out and get our dreams that we want and come back and show my parents like, look, we don't have to work hard. We don't have to do physical work. We could use our minds instead. And we could go out, I could bring them here and take them to a luxury restaurant where they could take a bite of it and they'll probably be crying too as well. Like, wow, this is the best thing that I've And I just gotta thank you because it changed me and my mind. And to be honest, all of you, like, this is, for me, like, my parents are like very strict. They, okay, you gotta work, no emotions, yeah? And right now, I'm very open to you guys because family, familia, so. Sorry. Love you, man.
I'm a high ticket closer.
Proud of you.
Well done.
Rooming with him, and every day I hear him just chanting. He's getting me and Andrew to just like motivate.
Every single day. He's amazing.
That's awesome. He's like so enthusiastic too. Yeah.
You know, he's not even telling you. He closes for 20 fucking minutes.
Yeah, he does. So what I want to, I guess I'll tell you about my long-term goal is that I want to be a voice actor, and growing up, you know, my family was really toxic. So being an Asian family, this thing like they're really strict on you. So
I know. I think I do.
Yeah.
You know, I was more into reading books, learning, and a lot more reflection and quiet time to myself, and a lot more serious or deep topics than like most kids at my age, you know, 5, 10, 15, were even thinking about. I was the kid reading the biographies. Those were my favorite books growing up, right? So doing all of that, going through college, graduating, even before I graduated, I started, you know, doing like multi-level marketing. I got introduced to that when I was in college, freshman year. And though I really didn't like that experience, the thing that it opened up to me that I was always looking for, even when I was younger, was that personal development part. You know, the reading the books, investing in myself, and then for the first time, being able to get around other like-minded people. So I didn't like the other stuff too much, but the books, loved it. One coach, which was Jay Wong, which is how I first heard about you and saw the Wealth Triggers. Then from getting my coaching certification to help others, and then being a part of your program, just all of those things happened in the last 5 to 6 months. And just seeing how quickly that become has blown my mind, and I'm grateful and so hopeful and excited to be here, first of all, but also for what's next, right? And HTC for me has just really shown me what it looks like to live life on a higher level. From all the assignments you've given me so far for being in batch 3, I do them at home, and I watched the YouTube videos with my mom, and she told me to tell you that she loves you. Hello to you all, and I'm excited to get to know more of you and just to go on this journey, and especially Sifu, Kayvon, Desmond, Jenny. I love the fact that I get to be here and spend this time with you all, and I love watching your Alpha Man Smart Woman show. I watch it with my girlfriend, and
And your mom?
And my mom has seen it as well, absolutely, and just we're all growing together just from those videos, and it's incredible to be able to do that with the people you love. So thank you. Thank you.
Most schools.
Then I ran into Jason Capital around the same time that my house burned down. My son actually got a hold of the lighter and my house burned down. Luckily everything was okay, or him and my mom were okay. Well, then I just realized I was like I'm fucking sick of this. Like it's time to time to be great, like I've always wanted to be, and I knew I would be. Well, then leading up to I guess 6 months ago or so, and Jason Capital just made a big impact on my life. And then I seen this video that I hadn't read his emails for a long time. Well, then I just happened to look at one night after work, like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? I never heard of you, Sifu. Best ever. And after 20 minutes, I was like, I gotta do this. I'll figure out a way, and I did figure out a way. I put some money in the stock market. I sold that shit. I paid for it. And I mean, I don't know, and now I have such, now, again, when I was doing it, I was like, man, I don't know if I can't do sales. I've never done sales, never saw myself in sales. But it's not just sales. It's about, again, going back to helping people and making an impact in the world and helping others live their dreams as well, not just myself. If I can do that for myself too, and show my son that, you can do whatever the fuck you want to in life, then that's even more of a reason to do it, And I was like, I have to do this. And now I have that skill and I have that ability to go out there and make an impact in this world. And not only that, but show my son, I don't feel like I'm the best dad, because I work nights now and I don't get to see my son.
You're an awesome dad.
Sorry, bro.
You're a fucking awesome dad, man.
You're in the right place.
That's right. And just to show him, and he even said, it's like, oh, you're going to see Dan Locke? I'm like, yes, I am.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to show him again that he can do whatever he wants to, just like I can, and everybody else in his family can. That right there means the most to me. But the fact that y'all give me faith in the humans again.
Cynical.
Yeah, can we just have just that part?
Thank you.
We saw that faith.
This guy's been hugging me like every day. I'm very proud. I love you.
And he's changed so much even since a few months ago.
Every one of y'all too, for real. Again, for not only for giving me faith in the humans again, but like help, like giving me this like belief again that I can go out there and fucking make an impact in this world, you know, and just I don't even know. Thank you, Sifu. Like I said earlier, I had to say it. Like I'm an introvert. I try not to be. I try to be an extrovert because I love, like, again, helping people. But it took a lot for me to even say earlier, like, I love you, Sifu. That just took a lot, even just to say that, you know? And, I mean, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. You and Jason Capital are like the fucking dynamic duo.
Yes.
Like, I used to think he was Batman, but now you're Batman. You're fucking Batman. So, I mean, again, I wouldn't be here, you know, if it wasn't for you, if it wasn't for Jason too, but Jason, I don't think he's going to make as much of an impact as you are going to. And, I mean, just thank you. Thank you all again, for real. Like, y'all are like my family. I've told a couple people here, I'm closer with y'all that I've known just a few months than people I've worked with for 14 years.
Those shitty people.
I lost my home in the Thomas fire in December, and I told a lot of you guys about that. And it was like everything I had built was like whisked out from under me, and that's what made me open to taking this course. And I know when I posted that, Dan, you said this is going to be the turning point of your life, and I really watched that as true for me.
I grew up typical middle-aged or middle-income, lower-income, middle-income family. Neither parents went to college, and the whole focus was do well in school and go to college. So when I was a kid, I was a super shy nerd. And so I did well in school, and I went to college, and I dropped out after a year because I'm like, this is not for me. And I definitely had shiny object syndrome. I tried to start all kinds of business when I was in my late teens, early 20s. The only business I was ever reasonably successful at was a landscaping business, so it was kind of funny that you had a lawnmower on there. I know you had a landscaping business at one time. I got that to be reasonably successful, whereas I was self-employed. I didn't really consider that to be a business. And I didn't love it enough to where I decided to grow it. And as a result of basically going almost a decade after high school and not really making any progress that I could see from a financial standpoint, I went back to college. And so I got a degree in mechanical engineering and eventually an MBA. So here I am back in 2009 with $77,000 of college debt, credit card debt, and I couldn't get a job. So I was in bad shape, and I was in a bad place mentally. I'm like, how the hell did I end up in this situation? So I defaulted on a bunch of debt, not the student loans, fortunately. And there was one thought that I always held with me, and that was when I was a kid, I always knew I wanted to be a millionaire. I didn't have a clue how I was going to get there. My parents never discouraged that, but they always told me to go to school. That was the way to live a good life. And I always held the thought, even when I was down in a bad place, I was still working manual labor. I was working an $8 an hour night janitor job in 2011. And I'm like, how in the hell did I end up here? I got 2 college degrees with good grades, and I couldn't get even interviews. But I kept the faith that eventually, somehow, didn't have a clue at the time, I would make it back. And later, 2011, things started to turn around where I was starting to get interviews in engineering, and eventually I did pick up a job. And then I just worked my ass off, purely focused on that to move up in that. And I've done really well. I moved up from working at $8 an hour job, which I actually got laid off from because the company lost that contract. And then, after getting laid off, 2.5 years later, I was making over $100,000 in a job as an engineer. But then, what normally happens when you start to get up to that level, it starts to level off quickly. And I'm working in the oil industry. And when I got in, it was booming. And then a couple of years later, it went down hard. Now, I didn't lose my job, but they went to salary freeze and then went to salary cut. And I'm like, this sucks. Like, I don't have control. Management doesn't really want to hear what you can do to really make things better because I haven't been there for 20 years. I'm not 50 or 60 years old. I'm not 20 either, but. And I knew sales was a valuable skill. Now, I hadn't read any of your stuff, not even FU Money. And I watched the webinar, and I don't watch many webinars anymore because I was a junkie on that stuff for years. And probably less than 15 minutes in, I'm like, yes, this is for me, just tell me what the price is, and I'll get to it. And I gotta wait, of course, another 45 minutes. But that's okay, because you get to see a sales presentation. And even today, since I knew that sales presentation, it was interesting to see the slight differences when you present it in person as opposed to on a webinar. So there's value there. But you got to the end, and you said the price was only $24.95. I'm like, damn, that's freaking cheap. I'm like, I just spent $77,000 on a college education. Don't get me wrong, did I get value out of it? Yes, I'm making 6 figures. But like you said, that's a high income job. Yeah. And even I realized, I'm like, this is not going to get me where I want to go. And I kind of knew that years ago. I was not good at asking for help, so I didn't realize I really needed a mentor, like a good mentor. One of the things that really resonated with me when I watched your presentation was your authenticity. For me, it seems to be very difficult in this world for people to be authentic with each other, even when they're working on a common goal, like even in the workplace. And it just drives me crazy. It's like, why do you have to lie? If you make a mistake, just own it. I make mistakes every freaking day, tons of them. And I'm an engineer, so we're designed to focus on finding mistakes. And for me, just be real. It's not that we're blaming anybody. I just want to see everybody grow. Now, one of the things that really wasn't just building a high income skill. That's cool. I'm like, the 100K doesn't interest me because I'm already doing that. Now, 100K, like working 4 hours a week, that'd be cool. But being able to grow that up, and one of the things I really love was not even just from HTC, but your basic training on the wealth triangle and how to basically build up, because being able to stay focused has been an issue for me at times in the past. And that was one of the most valuable lessons that was kind of reinforced when you presented that again today. And for me, I really saw that this is a stepping stone. So the most exciting thing for me for HTC is not making the money. It's one of the things you said in one of your videos when you talk about success and then significance above that, and that your life right now is focused on significance because you don't need the money. You have plenty of money. You can do whatever you want. And for me, the really exciting thing for me is to see what this HTC family is going to do in the next couple of years, because most of this group, the next couple of years, is going to crush out the success level. It's going to be gone, and we're all going to be focused on significance. Can you imagine the huge impact we're going to have in the world, and what we can really show people what's really possible in life? Because I see, even in my own family, people really don't believe that a lot of things are possible.
And it wasn't until going through HTC, especially the stuff with the lower self and going through the higher self, that actually changed things up. Seeing how you see how you are as a professional, how you carry yourself, how you run your business, how you wear your suits. I love wearing suits, by the way. That's the exact embodiment of what I want in my life and how I want to function. And no one is out there caring this much to want to bring this kind of success in someone's life. And when I ran into Desmond today, and he just saw me, and he told me, he's like, he went to Kayvon, and he said, Flad's like a man now. Those words were just impacted me so much, because it was also really funny, because I was actually extremely nervous, because I didn't expect to see him. So I'm a little more calm now. And just hearing something like that, especially after speaking to him when I wasn't the way I am right now, just impacted me to just a whole new level, because most of my life I just haven't lived as like a man. And I'm just amazed that, especially over the course of a few days, that I'm there now, and that I'm hanging out with Seafood Dan Locke and getting dinner with all his family here. At a private club. And it's a private club. And it's also a bad thing because every other dinner I'm going to have now is going to be horrible.
The people that don't get the airtime, that don't get the picture on the posters. And so I don't know who all of you are. Obviously, I've never gotten to meet you, but thank you guys for helping them be the best versions of themselves and deliver the most value to us. That's all I got.
Judging by the money you have, not just by the person and the skills you have, I felt like I kind of was like in the backlight, so I couldn't prove myself. So for example, I can say that we go like 5 friends together and we go to a club and there's a party and there's like 5 girls around. I know that those girls, I mean, I didn't know they actually telling me that you are the attractive guy, but I want to be with you, but this guy has the money, so sorry, you know, it is how it is, you know. So I always felt like I was like, you know, I wasn't living up to my full potential. So the first chance I got to get there was the work and travel program, which was like to come to USA, work for a few months and earn some money and come back. So that's what I did for 3-4 years, and that's where I actually found out that I'm much better than those guys, because I already had the environmental exposure. So once I got those money, they kind of felt like they're hurting, you know, because the only thing that was missing right there was the money. So I started earning like 10-12K for those 3-4 months of period, which was a lot of money back in my country, which I would spend through a period from 5 to 7 months, which was still good, because the salary in my country was like 500 euros, so I would have like $2,000 for a month. So I felt kind of amazing, but the only thing that was stopping me from continuing to do that was that I finished the college, so I couldn't do that anymore. So the only thing that I could do was that I can just move to the US and just risk all that I have back there and start a new life right here. So the best thing to do right then was the trucking business, which was the hardest thing to do for me. I always was scared from those kind of things, like the 18-wheeler stuff. You know, you see the truck on the road, you're like, what the fuck is that? How am I gonna drive that?
I don't know why I was that weird kid. I never felt like I belonged there. It was kind of suffocating me. My parents, like, I grew up in a poor family and everything, like it's nothing new. And I never felt like I deserved to live there, so I went to college and I had the same opportunity to come with that work and travel program. I did it 3 times as well. First time I liked it a lot. Second time I thought about moving here. The third time I was so in love with this country that I literally stayed here. I was homeless at one point over a 1.5 years. I was living in my friend's houses, him as well. There were times when I didn't have money to eat. My friends were literally feeding me. And I'm super grateful for all of that because it made me who I am, right? But probably the most difficult time of all was when I received the news that my father passed away. And I still remember I was driving. I was driving and I was crying so hard for days, right? Because I couldn't go back since I was here illegally. But I kept going, right? Mile after mile, tear after tear, wipe after wipe. Eventually that pain subsided. It was a period where Jason had his little down as well, and I didn't like his emails as much because it was pitch all the time. He was going through his own period or whatever. I hadn't opened his email for maybe a couple of months, and for whatever reason, I opened the email for the webinar.
Me too, brother.
and I watched the webinar, and the moment you said there will be an occasional use of profanity, no, fuck that. I was like, this is my guy, right? And all of that happened. What happened afterwards was like with the story with the, it's not even a story, it's a fact, with the Chinese bamboo tree. I don't know if you heard of it, but the Chinese bamboo tree, when you plant the seed, you gotta water it for 5 years straight, every day, or the seed will die, right? If you miss a single day, the seed will die. But after 5 years, in a matter of 6 weeks, it grows 90 feet in the air. Okay? And that's what I feel like happened for me after I joined HTC, thanks to that beautiful man over there, Kayvon. I still remember that night when he helped me make that decision. I said, oh, that's worth thinking about. And you said, there's no thinking about it. I don't remember exactly what was it.
Thinking about is not a business plan.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, fuck it, it's gonna make a good story. So I joined. I didn't have money at this point. I had only 2 weeks left of cash from all of those 20,000 that was burning through. And on the email, I messaged them, my Kayvon, I gave myself a word, like he said, that because it was Q4, it was October, I was like, I'm gonna give this e-commerce thing one last chance because this is the month that you make the money. What do you think I should do? And he emailed me back, he said, I got so much to tell you and help you, book a call. And I did. And I had no idea that this was a closing call or whatever. I thought this guy was gonna give me some advice, which he did. And 40 minutes in, out of nowhere, he's like, what's your email? Oh, this is my email. I thought, whatever, he wants my email. Give me a credit card. I'm like, what? I still started reading, right? And that happened. It works. It works. From then on, my whole life has been transformation.